Welcome everybody to the Iron Perspective podcast, episode 2. We finally got here. As I said, it's always super hard to get a group of people in the one spot at the one time, but we're back. And I want to say, first of all, thank you very much for the lovely reception of the first episode. It really means a lot to us. And to Christian in particular, being so open with his story and everything, and to get some lovely messages and stuff with people identifying with it, and hopefully seeing kind of Christian's openness and stuff and can motivate others to kind of talk up if they need to. We are in the AKA HQ today, and I thought it's a good way to start. We'd ask Alan how he goes from a PT on the floor. I think it'd be super useful for younger people, coaches and stuff, or aspiring coaches to understand his journey from going from a PT on the floor to having this great gym around him here, having his team all around him, and essentially like his own little coaching mecca here. So Alan, how on earth do you do it?
It's a coincidence.
Yeah.
Where do I start?
Back when I was a wee lad.
Yeah, back when I was a wee lad. My life growing up was a bit batshit crazy, so I think we'll
start from your PT
discuss
cert.
that at a different point as to sort of like how it evolved into where I am now. From a PT cert standpoint, and like sort of in the world now, like what we're, there's a dime and a dozen, isn't it? Really,
thousands and thousands. Yeah, you pay your money, you get the PT cert.
Online coach, no, but everybody's an online coach now. Like in terms of actual on the floor in-person coaching, it's like almost like a lost art. And one of the biggest questions is like the question that you've just asked me there is that how have you got to where you are here? And you know, and that's not to say that I'm anywhere near where I want to be and where I want, the heights that I want to go, but fundamentally I think that, and I was saying it off camera, that it's not the only way, but it's of my belief, if you want to be a elite level online coach, you first have to be an elite level in-person coach, because this sharpens your tool. And even when you are online coaching for years and years and years, like obviously I am now, and one of the premises behind building this facility was that, you know, I can still meet with some of my athletes. I can still go through a session with you or Jack behind the camera, etc., etc. So this keeps your tool sharp, because there's an element of theory, obviously, and I've heavily invested down that side, as you know, and we might touch on that today. But having all the knowledge from a theory perspective and not being able to implement it is, you know, useless, right?
The training.
So for me, I think that to be an elite level coach and you know, build your own space in this industry and your own level of authority in this industry, that you need to, or you should, I'm very hesitant to say you need to and speak in formalities, but it is definitely going to aid you. It's probably going to get you to, you know, a higher level quicker if you've been an elite level one-to-one coach. So for me, I start working as an in-person coach, oh Jesus, 2000 and, I did my leaving cert in 2007, 2008-ish, 2009 is sort of when I start in-person coaching, and maybe even a touch earlier, but that was, at that point, like I was doing some of it for free, some of it would be with friends, and then when I first got into the industry, the fucking country was in the middle of a recession, right? So I couldn't get, everywhere I went to, it was like, yeah, this is great, you seem enthusiastic, but we need experience. But how the fuck do you get experience if
when nobody wants to give it to you? Yeah.
You know, if you're not working in a gym, well then how do you PT people? So it was really like me going in, sneaking into gyms, paying day passes, PTing, like don't do that ever in my gym. But that's sort of what I was doing. Online coaching wasn't a thing. I'm sure there was, I think there was like one or two like OGs in the States that were doing it, but like, you know,
At higher level, kind of.
yeah, it wasn't like people weren't like, if you said you're going to charge a couple €100 a month for online coaching, people would laugh at you, right?
Crazy,
and
yeah.
rightly so, because the technology wasn't the same, right? So I done that then for non-stop for COVID. So really, like just before COVID, and maybe for the couple of years before COVID, I was still very busy online. But I was still maybe at that point, maybe from like 2016, which would have from like, 2008 to 2016, I would have solely just been doing like 50, 55, 60, 70 sessions a week, one-to-one. And then maybe I remember I used to do a little bit of online coaching then on a Saturday, which would have been old school through emails, yeah. And then from 2016, maybe late 2016, I transferred in more into the world of the online space. And I remember at the start of doing it, I was like, this is a bit fucking strange, you know? It's like, it seems easy, but it also seems not authentic, not like I feel like I could do more. Like, you know, you're really dependent on the information that person gives you, which still, you know, is to this day, but we didn't have the systems. Like now, obviously, you know, you've got Loom, you've got Tele, you've got your Google Sheets, you've got your coaching apps, which we use, and everything is like merged together. You've got Zoom calls, we've got the facility to do checkups, we've got the posing studio. So there's much more now, but back then anyway, I sort of transitioned then between maybe bringing it down to like 25, 30 PTs per week, one-to-one, whilst then like 25, 30 online coaching, and that was sort of like that for a while. I ended up building my first little facility then out of that, which we called the Muscle Clinic, and that was 2017. And the space for there would have been probably the space of where we are sitting here.
So quarter the size of what we are now.
Basically, the chill out area as to where we're sitting in the gym now was the size, and upstairs was not for what it's worth. I loved that. And I'd always said to you, Jack would have been with me through all of that time. I loved that time. So I had like a rack of dumbbells. I had a dual pull down row that I got off Shay from Strength Max. I had like a rack. We were the first gym to have gym net go in Ireland. In there, yeah. We had the first belt squat, didn't we? We had the spine chest press, and we had the standing hamstring curl. And I think that was trap bar deadlifting. I think that could have been all I had. The cables. I don't know whether I said that or not, but the cables as well. And that was it. Upstairs was my office and a little bit of cardio and a toilet, which kept getting fucking blocked. But anyway, that was it. And lads, at that point, I just committed to staying full time in Ireland as opposed to travelling back and forth to the UK, which I'll come back on. I know I'm jumping a little bit, but I'll come back on that. I was so happy. I was so fucking happy. I had, as I said, at that point, I was 50-50 between online and in person. The only aspect that I struggled with was I was training there, so it was lonely. You know, I was doing maybe like 6 a.m. until 1 p.m. back-to-back PTs. I'd eat, I'd train, I'd do some online coaching. I'd go back home to Eva. Eva was working in Costa at the time. I'd come back in, then I'd do PTs then from maybe 6:30 to 9:30 at night, back, rinse 7 days a week. And I've always worked 7 days a week. It was just repeat. And then a year and a half into that, I just got the brainwave as I do. I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm full sending this. And I went looking for units, and I found the unit on the other side of the park here. And that unit was, I think, 2,700 square foot. So I was like, we'll move in there and I'll just do what I'm doing at a bigger level. Because that unit, that was actually a shop. And that I was in was like 400 or 500 square foot. So it was tiny.
Yeah.
Like that equipment that I mentioned was jammed. Like I'll see if I can send you a picture and maybe Jack can
put it up,
can put it in. But I was happy because I built it. you know, like it was built for me. I don't come from anything in terms of, I never had handouts. It was something, it was my first thing in life that I was like outside of, it's why I've always taken great pride in the education, because I put myself through it. And this was my first thing that was tangible. I was like, yeah, I can see what I want to be.
You're getting there, you're getting towards it,
you know, like I can do this, you know, and really at that point you're like, because we all have doubts, right? And at that point it's like, I just need to keep believing. I was starting to get wins in the bodybuilding world, and it was, you know, in the bodybuilding world, bodybuilding space, it is its own fucking world, all right? But anyway, in the bodybuilding space, so I was starting to, like, from a national level, starting to make a name of myself. I was like, right, this is cool. Moved into the other place, November 2019 was when I got the keys, November 1st. I think it was the 28th of November that we actually opened it. It was pretty much just me, Jack and Eva that opened it. And Jack was full-time PT in person. I was still half-half. Eva then had took the plunge into, because she had won a few shows at national level, and I think she just came back from the Europeans in Santa Susana. I don't know whether it was the Arnolds or the Europeans, I can't remember, but she just came back. She had done her PT course with Satanta College, so she took the plunge. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna move in, coaching female. So it was the three of us cracking on, and I was in the office upstairs, and then COVID hit. And that was, bear in mind, right, that's basically, let's call it the 1st of December, yeah? And we've Christmas, and then 1st of March, was it really? We started to get an inkling, wasn't it? Like February.
The man had eaten the bat.
Fucking hell. So this mystical fucking flu ruined my life.
And everybody else's.
Like this was bad, because it was now March, and I was like, I'm fucked.
Your momentum's gone.
That online base that I had, overnight.
No gyms.
Yeah, there was like, no one was training in gyms. Everybody was like, look, I don't know if my job is safe. Of course, like, you understand. I'm like, absolutely, yeah, I understand. In my head, I'm like, well, I know my job's not safe.
Yeah, that's for sure.
My job's fucked right now. My online went from maybe, probably at that point, I was probably like a 40 clients, let's say, down to maybe 2, 3, maybe 5, let's say, in the space of a week. Obviously, we weren't allowed work, and everybody was scared, and I was scared. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and so my PT was 0. I had just bottomed out my bank account, because I need to jump back a little bit. Obviously, when you move into a premises, you sign a lease, so you get legally binded toward that lease, or for that lease. I had, if you remember what I said there, I had moved away after a year and a half in the other little place. So I had a 3.5-year lease that I had to come to an agreement to pay a lump sum, on top of investing in equipment to get into the new place, and flooring and painting, getting the toilets and the offices and all done. So the money that I had saved, I think there was about 50 grand that I had, and then the equipment that was in the old place. When I opened the doors officially that 1st of December, I was close to 0 again. If not, I think I was at 0. But none of that, being broke, that's never bothered me, because I've been broke many a times. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just,
believe in yourself.
I am who I am, and this will work. So it is what it is. So I started to get like enough money just to pay the rent, blah, blah, blah. Then we closed. And then I'm like, fuck, I have maybe enough to pay the rent for 2 months. Something needs to change fast. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. The building, my landlord here is a fucking legend. So I just want to state that. But
same guy, is it? Same guy?
No, different guy, thank God. The other side, this industrial estate is like split in two. He and his family own this side where we are now, which is potluck, mind you, and I'll get to how I ended up here in a second. Well, it's not luck, but it's a very cool chain of events as to what happened. the other side, this is a way longer fucking story than what I fucking thought this was going to be.
Go detail.
The other side of this industrial estate is owned by a vulture fund. So I'm not going to say they're bad people,
But
but they're not good people. And look, they everything is numerical, right? So I get it. It's a game of fucking X's and O's on a data sheet, right? They didn't give me any, what was it, like a rent leeway, none of that. I got none. I got no freeze, no pause. I think at one point there was talks of the government giving grants, if I remember correctly, a couple of €100 or something like that. So I ended up getting that for a few months. But it was one of my other clients who's been with me. She's been with me for 13, 14 years, and she'll listen to this, so I don't want to name her name because she might be embarrassed. But I'd class her as family. She doesn't know it, but she actually kept the lights on 1 month because she'd been coached by me for about 7 years at the time. About 6 years at the time. I'd become very close with her. She was always in person with me. She was like, I'm going to pay 1 year's coaching up front in cash. So she paid 1 year's coaching up front in cash, and that allowed me to pay the rent for the next month. That then got me through, because after that then I was like, I'm not doing this anymore, and I ended up opening the gym. I started to see the gaps in the data. I was like, this is not making sense to me. Like, so I started opening the gym I think I used to open the gym from 5:30 in the morning until 8:30 in the morning. That gym was attached next door to the HSE.
Oh, was it?
I couldn't write it.
Risky.
Yeah. And then I'd open it again they closed at 6, so I'd open it at 7 to 9. Something like that, Jack, wasn't it? And I charged everybody €40 cash to use the gym. And from there then I used to have black bags over the windows.
Oh, yeah?
And I used to turn the music down really low. And then from there then I was able to keep the lights on. They started to get back then into a little bit of one-to-one. Jack started getting his clients back, Eva started getting her clients back. And then my online clients that had dropped off, they started to realise that their jobs were safer than they thought. And if anything, a lot of them were just getting paid by their jobs for doing nothing.
Yeah.
So they were like, I'm going full send on this.
Yeah, plenty of time to train.
Yeah, plenty of time. So
Yeah.
then, lads, it was like, I don't know what happened. It was like, boom.
Just took off.
I couldn't keep up with inquiries. It was just like, I was putting up some stuff online, on obviously Instagram, a train, and I think I have like broomstick videos and stuff up there.
Oh, really?
somewhere.
Yeah. You think that's what it was?
Broomsticks. Yeah.
That's what kind of picked it up for you? People saw
and then
your,
it was
your content, like.
Yeah, and then it was just inquiry. There's people that see me for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years getting results before all this bullshit. So there was a level of respect and authority already built. And then it was the world of online then, even though I was doing it regularly for maybe 2-3 years before that, but then it just fucking exploded.
Do you think there's something there? Maybe with COVID, people were like, I need to get my shit together.
I think people realised. I think they realised that everything is fragile. The importance of physical and mental health, the latter being obviously very close to home in We Rise, We Cry. There's the plug.
Yeah. Great movement.
But I think people, came to that realisation because a lot of people suffered during that time through different reasons. Male, female, of all ages. And then I think they also realised that the same way as employers realised, we can have our employees work from home and it's almost more productive for us in cost and savings. Now more people are working at home.
A bit more time there as well.
There's less commute. So now it's like, let's go to the local gym. So I think people start becoming a lot more health conscientious.
There's a few things as well, wasn't there? Like when it happened, I think everybody kind of realised that life is short as hell. So if I don't go after whatever my goal is, I think it really pushed a lot of people towards their goals. Yeah. Within that physique goals, right, is one of the big things that people have. So
yeah, for sure.
Why the hell would I do it now?
Yeah, I think also at that time, people, they were doing what they could, staying within their 20K.
5K. Remember, it was a 5K for a
Well,
while.
sorry, 5K, then we got up to 20K, yeah. And your bubble. So what did they do? They walked, they watched videos like that, they did what they could at home. And it was those little things because you couldn't go anywhere. It's like, I actually, even though this was a shit, like really like a shit workout compared to what I'm used to,
You appreciate
I
it
feel
so
a
much,
hell of a
yeah.
lot better,
Yeah,
right? You know, so I think there was a bit of that, you know, what makes you feel good?
Do you I don't know why I'm putting up my hand like a fucking skill kid
over
here.
here.
I meant to say, I was pointing outside.
Alan,
right?
go.
Yeah. I was like, hey, but do you remember the weather? I know we're having fantastic summer now, but do you remember the weather? How do you remember that?
No, I was looking at it, I was on
The weather, lads. yeah, Christian was almost dead. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I can see it, I missed all the nice
Was that
weather.
the same
March, April was like fucking unbelievable weather. Like crazy good weather. I don't know if everyone listening to this remembers that, but the weather through that months was unbelievable. It was almost like it was fucking planned. Anyway,
That's where the old tinfoil hat's coming out now.
yeah. So that was that. Things just really started to take off then, to the point where I think I took on another coach, Kev, who I was coaching at the time, and he started doing more one-to-one in the gym. Jack was doing one-to-one in the gym. I dropped down my one-to-one to nothing. So I wasn't doing any one-to-one then from that point on. So it was good at that. Then we're talking like 2020, and as I said, I started around that 08, 09 mark. Start getting paid from about 2010. So I worked for free and in a gym, which I'll discuss when we go through other stuff in my life in a different podcast. So it's 10 years of non-stop PTing, and then I got to the point then where we extended that gym by putting in the mezzanine, half of which you see outside. We kitted it out. The gym was really, really well kitted out. It was really like a level up gym. It was the same sort of size. And Dara and Kiva would have obviously been with me towards the latter end of that. And it was really, really good, and I was really fucking happy with it. And what happened then? Towards year 4 of that lease, everything was flying, no issues. Everything from a bodybuilding perspective, results, all that stuff, everything was flying. And again, I don't think I'm going to bore people right now with all that. Me and Eva, so Eva, people think that Eva was trying to win a pro card for like fucking 10 years, and that's simply not true, right? So just to touch on that, Eva started competing when she was 19. She's after winning a pro card on her 29th birthday. Yeah, or was her 28th birthday? 29th birthday.
You should know that, Alan.
Sorry,
You should know that.
right.
Cut that part out.
Yeah. I love you. I'm sorry. So she had won her pro card on her 29th birthday, but I think her first ever show was like just before her 20th. So it would have been April, and she turned 20 in May. So that was like an RABBF show, but it was actually during COVID. Just after COVID, she done her first NPC show. So it was 2021, and she done a single show, the Arnold Classic. I think she got like 3rd or something like that. That's my phone, hockey in there, Jesus. And then she done another show in 2022, and these were only single shows. She done the Win in Bonnock, and I can't remember. I think she could have got 2nd or 3rd there. And then she took a year off. So she'd only done two shows. And then in 2023, which was year 4 of that lease in the old spot, I had a massive team doing Alicante. We had like 15 competitors going over there. And I prepped Eva for that show. I was like, look, you've got this. You're like, this can very well turn pro in your first fucking show and like your first extended season. So we were like, we'll put together a string of shows. And that was 2023. And she done Sweden, Alicante, and we had planned Italy and Denmark. She did Denmark, and she got 2nd in a class. First show was Denmark, which was early. I think we went like a month and a half early because she was ready. She was peeled, actually 2 peeled. That's what she was told, which was the story for a
Of
fucking
all them
while.
years.
Yeah. So that was 23. So she'd got second in her class there. She had got second in Alicante. Feedback was just not full enough. You have the structure, you have all that, but not full enough. And condition is borderline too much here. And the last show then she won in Sweden and lost in the overall by a point to a Swedish girl. No, to a Scottish girl who was really fucking good. And she was told by the head judge, Italy's next week, bring this look again to Italy. So we flew to Italy with Mantis and she got COVID over there. So we were getting our tan and she was about to pass out. She got a flu over there, yeah. So we were getting our tan and she was about to pass out, so I pulled her out. So she just got her tan, walked out to me. I was like, Eva, we're not doing this show. So you can imagine I wasn't the favourite person in the world the night before the show, but she was absolutely in bits. So that was the end of the season. This would have been October 23, and we moved to Marbella a week later. So that was supposed to be the last show of the season, and we knew that at that point, like if she just had been there, not saying she would have got it, but she was told like turn up, bring that again. And then obviously we moved to Spain for 5-6 months or something like that. The reason I moved home was I was renting a house here in Nace and I was coming towards the end, so that would have been now almost hitting 5 years on the lease in the old place, and they send out your lease renewal or negotiations about 3-4 months before the lease is actually due, or at least this crowd did. What they sent me was absolutely absurd. So then I'm over there in Spain, I'm looking at this, I'm like, right, Eva, we don't have a house anymore in Ireland. I don't own a house at the moment. Like, this gym could be gone. We have two choices. We stay here, we keep renting, I sell everything from the gym, I hope to buy here, maybe move the gym over here to Spain, to Marbella, or we come back. And it really boiled down to, Eva was a bit lonely over there because I travelled so much for shows. So she's by herself with the dogs, but then also she was obviously in her off season at the time, and if we're going to be competing, like I'm travelling with her for her shows, who minds the dogs? What do we do? We've no family, we've no friends over there. So we made the decision, we got the boat back. I had started proceedings about 2 months earlier to buy a house over here. That client that I said way back when paid for the coaching up front, she never got a new tenant in the house because she had a feeling that was coming back, and then she re-rented the house for me. So I ended up going back to that house. She saved my bacon a few times. So I came back into that house, and shortly after that we ended up buying a house in Clane, but the gym was still a big issue. And I was like, I'm full-time with like a lot of clients online. We had coaches under the brand. So I'm like, do I want the gym? Like, what do I do? I'm like, I'm never going to be able to find a new unit, etc., etc. I was walking to the bank. I cannot remember for love nor money what I was walking to the bank for, but anyway, so I was walking back and I seen Rob, who's the landlord here. Bumped into him. I was like, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. Quick little chat just because I had coached him. And again, I coached him. I knew that he had units this side of the park, whilst I was on the other side, online. I never thought anything about it. And I walked by, I was about 20 yards past him. I was like, just ask him. So I turned around. I was like, Rob, have you got any units that like would potentially suit me for the gym? And he was like, what's happening? I was like, they're after increasing me rent to like an absurd amount of money for the building that I'm in. And he was like, literally yesterday, our tenant in this building that we sit in now has given us his notice that he's not coming back or he's moving. No, he was like, I think it'd be perfect for a gym. Do you want to see it? No, this was on a Friday. I was like, can I see it on Monday? He was like, yeah. I went down on a Monday, seen it. I was like, this is the one. Now it was different than this, like where you see the cutouts downstairs and like this big cutout here, and all of that was block walls. So this was like that stairs that's behind the panel wall here. It was like a concrete factory or something like that. So this was their offices up here. Downstairs is like a warehouse. So I was like, this is the one. I felt it the minute I came in.
Yeah, you know it.
And yeah, I just knew in my heart that this was
You
the
could
one.
see what it was going to be.
Yeah.
There's pictures of that. You could send Jack.
yeah,
There's
that'd be
pictures
cool,
of that, isn't there?
Jack
Yeah,
might have some footage of it, because you filmed a little bit. I don't know if you still have it.
Well,
there
that'd be cool to
somewhere.
overlay that.
Be deadly, yeah.
But then I was like, right, this is the one. That was on a Monday. By the Wednesday, we had agreed terms. He's a gent. He really just landed on my feet with that. Agreed terms, and this would have been April. I had this gym finished by June Bank Holiday. This was towards the end of April. I moved into the gym the same day as me and Evan moved into our house. So we had bought the house and done the gym, literally finished it on June 8th, which was a crazy time. And then since then, the gym has just evolved. Obviously, I've never taken a single penny from this gym. I've never took a wage, nothing. So every single penny that I've ever got from this gym has gone back into this gym. Obviously, the latest thing that we've done is we've built this area here. I think we started with 60 machines or 55 machines 2 years ago. Obviously, it was our second birthday, last month, and we're at like 105 machines now. So it's just been constant reinvestment into the gym. And Friday, I signed the lease to knock in next door.
Oh, really? Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So thank you.
That's an exclusive.
Exclusive.
Is it?
That's an exclusive.
Yeah.
That is an exclusive.
There you go.
How big's next door?
So this one, it's not going to be. This one is the same size as the unit that we're in, but I'm not going into that one yet. They're still in there, so I don't know if they listen to this. I don't want to.
Is that the plan though, to go into them as well?
Yeah. I'll tell you a story about that as well in a second. So
Taking over the whole business park.
I'm going in another 2,000 square foot this way.
Oh wow.
So I'm going to get another Cybex Smith. So the two Cybex Smiths are going in. I have Shay from Strength and Fitness Supplies. He's going to do the flooring. He's going to put the power racks in. He's going to put the platforms in with the AKA emblem. I'm going to call it the engine room, and that's going to be the Astro, the sleds, kettlebell walls. Our dumbbells are all getting replaced by granite, so we're getting 2 to 100 kilo dumbbells. That's going on the main gym floor. Half of them dumbbells that are down there will be sold. The other half will go, because obviously there's duplicates of everything down there. So one set will go into the new unit. We'll have a cutout like this one, and it will be the Smiths, the deadlift platforms, the Astros, kettlebell racks, dumbbell racks, and have all of that in that space, which creates more room out onto the gym floor then for more machines.
Awesome.
Yeah. We have a block built room there as well that I haven't. I'll probably get a physio in, and I'll have a physio then work from there as well. So that's the plan. That I have 2 months to get that ready. So I touched on my story the other night that I was working on one of the projects that I needed to get over the line, which was the negotiations for the new place and the planning of it. So it's all systems go. I want to have that done by muscle contest. Okay. So then the gym then now is at that point then we'll go to, I think we'll be touching 11,000 square foot. Which started a couple of 100 square foot.
Yeah, not doing too bad, eh?
With the amount of new machines you're planning on bringing in, all it, you'd say thank God. The extension.
Can we get any exclusives on the machines, please, for us nerds?
Yeah, so I'm going to be co-designing new machines with Granite.
Really
so
cool.
Another exclusive?
That's a pretty cool exclusive.
Yeah. So I'm likely going to be on to China next year and having a look around, and we'll see. I don't want to speak too much on it because obviously it has to come to fruition first, but there's ideas that I have there that I from a machine perspective that I want to do. I know we have, our Mega Mass pull down, wide grip pull down.
Yeah.
We have a Granite one coming as well.
Are you thinking kind of novel, kind of machine ideas, or just
I want one.
making better of what we already do?
Yeah, the granite one has a different loading arm, which means that it creates a drop off in the short. The Megamass one is beautiful, but it's very heavy in the short. So you're like limited. Yeah. So with this drop off, because of where the loading is, the second loading pin, it just creates a nicer profile. So I want that in. Obviously, as I said, I'm getting another Cybex Smith. I'm going to get a Bravo, which will be our 1, 2, 3, 4th. Yeah, it'll be our 4th cable. We have our dumbbells coming. We have Granite have rebuilt a make off the Cybex 45 degree.
Oh, have they really?
I haven't seen it yet, but they've used a extremely heavy gauge metal, they tell me.
All their stuff is really good.
Yeah, very heavy. Like, we know from fucking trying to bring it in here, it weighs it.
Compared to the Megamass, like, it's
3 times the weight.
Oh yeah.
So we have that coming. I need to use it first. I'm not going to say I need to use it first. So
yeah.
The bearings on it are supposed to be. He has a name for the bearings that are going in it, but there's some mad linear bearing in it that he's raving about. So that'll go in. We have a Cybex VR1 lat row. You've used that. Nebula have them. Dave's place, shout out to Dave. It's got an arm that mobilises forward up to 90 degrees to 45. So you can change the degree in which you row. So we've one of them coming. I've been waiting to get that for fucking. I've been on the hunt for that for about a year and a half, 2 years.
I think I know the one. I think I remember seeing it on their story. Yeah. The good old Davey.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more glute machines coming. I have to get some treadmills, otherwise some of the members are going to shoot me. And then we have our platforms.
Do you know what's incredible? That Gym 80 hip thrust.
Is it, yeah?
You know the one that's the pads just under your knees? There's no platform or no foot platform on it. So it's just under your knees, so you can't but use your glutes. It is incredible.
Really, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Make one of those with Granite, I'm telling you.
Okay, send me a picture.
Yeah, I will do. It's just, you can imagine there's the pads under your knees, so you can't obviously use any hamstrings or quads.
That's pretty good.
Oh, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
But bear in mind, just to call out as well, in the last 4 weeks, a Strive, the Strive chest press has gone in.
Yeah,
2 brand new plate loaded shoulder press. The Strive chest press, which is pin loaded, but then the Granite JP shoulder press. We have the Granite pull down, which you were just saying how much you love. Like, so already, just recently, there's been a shit ton of new things in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, we have no more space left in this gym. So
every time I was like, someone's coming, I'm like, where's it gonna go?
So I remember I hadn't been in it about. It was I came for the first time in probably a year, a few weeks ago, and it was as you said, there's literally double the machines.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's impossible to train anywhere else.
It's
you get spoiled. You have people spoiled here now.
And that's for me. It's like just create the atmosphere. And there's other gyms here in Ireland that are doing the same thing. You've got, as I said, Nebula.
Nebula's great,
you've got Ken and Predator. You've got Dara and Kiva. You've got the lads in the lab out in Limerick.
It's almost only like the last 5 years or so, isn't it? That people are really getting into it, back into it. Otherwise, it's always just you buy 2 brands because it's cheap, and you just buy the whole gym full of 2 brands. They're all.
You've got like list goes on. Even like look, you've got District and Port Leisure, Warren and Amy. You've like there's the standard that gyms have rose.
Yeah, hugely,
which is great because a rising tide lifts all ships, right? And if we go back to the start of this conversation about in-person coaching being the core fundamental aspect outside of academics, because you need to know what you're doing, right? But you need to be able to sharpen your tools, and if the
that's
the
message, right, for the younger coaches and stuff is never be satisfied. Keep on going for that next thing. Keep on obtaining knowledge. Keep on.
So important, but if the gym's seen as better and you've got passionate owners like the owners that I've just mentioned, and apologies if I've left out. Again, look, Shay is opening FLX gym, in Trim. So like, there's more and more, right? So that means better coaches come out of the woodwork. That means that, even some of the online coaches that are busy, like, you know what, I love this game, but we go to AK, they have all this equipment here. We go to Nebula, we go to Flex, we go to District, we go to all the Predator, Nebula. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, I want to do a little bit there as well because they've got X and Y machines. And look, at the end of the day, we're all nerds for this, right?
Oh, so we love it.
Now, this means that the coaching scene is going to improve, right? And if the coaching scene improves, the standard of, I'm going to keep it to our bubble and our world, the standard of athletes increases. So, this then as I said,
Elevates
it just
everything,
moves. Yeah. So it's nice for me to see, and I'm privileged that a lot of people that I've mentioned, I coach or have coached. And it's cool. Yeah, it's really fucking nice, and I do feel like, you know, if you want to be a top coach online, in the online space, you also need to have been in the trenches and earned skin in the game in person.
Yeah, you don't just go from you're a PT cert to being a top online
There's
coach.
no coincidences in this game. No coincidences. Results aren't a coincidence, especially results on stage aren't a coincidence. In a world, there's a lot of bullshit, there's a lot of fake drama, fake beefs, all this shite that's in this industry. But there's no coincidences. If someone wins a pro card, there's no coincidences why he or she has won a pro card.
Yeah, they work pretty hard.
Yeah. If you've got a coach that has X amount of wins, X amount of top threes, X amount of transformations, that's not done. You can't fluke something 200 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's done through skin in the game and years being here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's my 2 cents on it anyway.
I think it's also a mentality thing though, because when we talk about all your success, Al, from coaching, the gym, everything, like whenever we have chats, like you are still, like you're always thinking about the next goal.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So
I'm
it's a
almost
mindset thing of
borderline,
just, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're always striving to what can I do next, you know? And I think that's an important thing is you need to be hungry, stay hungry, right?
Yeah, but if you start, like, I'm almost uncomfortable with, you know, the term of all your success or this, that, and the other, because I'm not where I want to be yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're hungry for more.
Yeah, and
you
it's
know,
like
Do you have a big goal, as in that's something you're actually going towards?
Olympians.
Yeah, that's the big.
Yeah.
Get to that kind of
Olympians and multiple cards.
that kind of Chris Aceto kind of level. That kind of
And like,
that
look,
kind of
you
renown,
know,
like.
some people might be a little bit like embarrassed to be like, that's where I want to be, or this, that, and the other. But
You never get
But
there
you
if you're
should own
embarrassed
it,
of
though.
that, right?
That's the thing.
look, I've put in the years from an academic standpoint. I've put in the years of working in the trenches and having, you know, lower level athletes over exceed. That's no disrespect to anybody, but like, you know, bodybuilding.
It's the realism of
you have to go to
bodybuilding,
the
isn't
top
it?
in bodybuilding, like we touched on.
yeah.
And it's not to say that you can't bodybuild to a good level, but to go to the top, like we just touched on there, you need to be genetically elite.
You just need everybody just needs that one really exceptional.
Yeah, and I have a few of
athlete.
them. I have a few of them in our cohort here, and it's something I'm very proud of. And for me, it's like I don't use like a CEO as a target. There's so many coaches that I respect, and for me, it's just like it's.
But that kind of level, right? That's that's the
I want to
aspiration.
have, like, you hear so often of, oh well, he's the best coach in the country, or he's this. I hate that term. Like, that term just vomit. I don't like. What does that mean?
You're
As
limited.
well
then.
as what makes you hate it?
Because what does that mean?
You're limited, is what it sounds like to me.
I even think like you I don't know, like, it depends obviously what way you perceive it, but like, fundamentally, what does it mean, right? So a lot of time, look, I'm very humble and very thankful for people to say this and stuff, but like, you know, AK is the best coach in the country, or this, that, the other. If we look at it from a success, I'm maybe like one of 2 or 3 that we've had a lot of
We
success.
pretty much just have 2 or 3, like, have the whole, everybody, all the competitors is 2 or 3 people, as like 90% of the competitors, right?
Yeah, over here, yeah. So, but like,
we're that small a community.
if we think about it, right, or like AKA is the best gym in the country, says who? You know what I mean? There's, as I said, look, there's no coincidences in this game, but I'm not in this to be the best in Ireland or this, that, and the other. I'm in this to achieve what I want to achieve, and if I get caught up with, you know, I want to have the status that everybody says that AK Alan is the best in the country and this, that, and the other, I'm sort of missing the forest for the trees, because my goal is to help people. God gave me the skills to be able to help people and for them to be able to bring their goals to fruition. And that's what I'm chasing. And for me, I want to have, I don't need to have a term of he's the best. I want to have continued respect and authority, and to know at the end of my career that I full fucking sent it until the wheels came off, and have that respect with my peers abroad as well. And that's over the last couple of years, that started to come to fruition, where people have started to notice me in shows across Europe and stuff. And that to me is like, right, you're on the right path. This is, you know, believing in yourself is paying off.
I just want to go back a few steps in your story. Okay, at the beginning with what made you get into personal training? Was it something you wanted, or was it like a shit, you know, I don't really want to be a tradesman or an engineer or something?
So I wanted to be a personal trainer and a coach since I was in school. So I was a gym rat as a kid. So I would have spent a lot of time in Hercules Gym in Dublin City, because my dad would have been in there, my dad's friends would have been in there.
You grew up with it, like bodybuilding?
Yeah, and there was a gym then that my dad used to train in Tala. I can't fucking think of the name of it, but I would have been between these gyms. I would have just sat on the rowing machine while they all trained, and I was surrounded by a lot of these powerlifters from in Hercs and around my dad. And my dad was a doorman in Dublin, so he would have been heavily into that scene and amongst that. And then one of my dad's close friends, he went and done gladiators.
Really?
Yeah. And that sort of opened the door as to, okay, that's what I want to do. And now, bear in mind, I'm a kid here. Growing up then, athletically, so like I played soccer at a high level, I played GA at a high level, and some boxing, Thai boxing, and you know, I was very, you know, engulfed within sports. So, but I always wanted to coach. I always wanted to, I was obsessed with physique, so when I was in like school and stuff like that, and that will open Pandora's boxes to other stuff in there, which I will. I promise that we will do a sit down podcast.
Yeah, we'll do that in a separate episode.
Yeah. But I always wanted to, and it got to the point then that in sixth year, my dad actually said to me, now he jokes about it now, saying it was reverse psychology, but he said to me that it's not a real job, and you'll never make money out of that because you don't have the personality to do this. Yeah. And people probably listen to that and be like,
"They'll set the fire off. I'll show you. I'll show you."
But this set a fire in me. I was like, okay. And yeah, so I wanted to do it straight out the bat. But again, we were in a recession, right? It was really difficult to get the ball moving, and that's why there was a period where I was working for free. It got to a point working for free that the members in the gym that I was working in start putting in formal complaints that I should be on a full-time contract.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's like 50 formal complaints came in as to, you know, I hate the word best, but Alan is the best fucking person here. Why is he not on blah, 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 blah. So that happened. They were forced into giving me a contract, and here we are. Yeah. So,
and then with moving from personal training to online coaching, how did that transpire? Was it like somebody asked you for this, or was it like a shit, I'm full capacity here and I need to make a plan to get more people on board?
It's a pretty logical jump, isn't it? Like, you know.
Yeah. Let me think. That's a good question as to how it sort of transpired. I think I just started getting the odd inquiry.
Do you do online coaching?
Do you do online coaching?
When it
now
started to become a thing.
Yeah. And I'm nearly sure I remember, because obviously you would have heard about it and stuff like that, and I'm nearly sure I remember just being like, yeah,
why
and then being like, fuck.
What do I do? How do I do this?
Yeah, and I think it was more of that. And then, as I said, look, it got to the point where I was like, this is like way easier to do than in person at this point. Now, look, doing it at the highest level isn't, right? Yeah. It's difficult. But at that point, I was like, this is relatively easy, because one of the big aspects about being an in-person coach is that you deal with personalities, and that's, you start to be able to read people, to be able to, you know, develop an in-person coaching eye from an execution, a mechanic standpoint, from a physique as to what you're looking at from athletes posing in front of you.
It's quite different, right?
This is why when I refer to sharpening your tool, this is what I'm speaking about. So I was like, this is fucking easy. And then it just started more and more and more. And then obviously with success at a national level, then you start getting inquiries from people abroad. And yeah, that's all, like, that all runs in line with being a gym owner. So like, as a, I don't know. If someone asks me, what's your profession? I'm a coach. When someone says, like, oh, you're also a gym, I'm like, from a gym owner, being an employer, I'm sort of just falling forward.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
almost as part of your coaching, this gym, isn't it? Like an
the
extension
coaching
of
is
it,
my
like,
bread and butter. I can coach and make the right decisions with my eyes closed. That's like your postman posting the post, or you fucking putting a slice of bread into a toaster and knowing that it's going to toast, right? That's what I do. It's my bread and butter.
The business side of it is the difficult part.
The business side is like you're learning. You're learning to deal with employees. You're learning to deal with different debacles that might happen on the gym floor. And, you know, that's happening at the same time as me being extremely busy as a coach. You know, then I've got my staff, my coaching staff, but I've also got my the gym is a separate entity, right? It's trades is a different entity altogether. So then I've got my staff in the gym, I've got my manager in the gym. You know, there's like, we've over 600 members here now. That's like, there's different things that happen here then. It's like, this side I'm sort of falling for. I'm always learning. I'm like, right, yeah, I should probably, you know, do that better this time. And how the gym has been successful, and I hope it's what you notice when you walk through the doors, is that I give it everything. So I'm not somebody that's like, does my job for anything materialistic. I'm not somebody that does this so that I can be on Instagram and I can be flashing this or I can be flashing that. I do this because I love it, and I want to help people, and I want to build a gym that is elite, that you've got everything in here, equipment-wise, atmosphere-wise, support. If you want in-person coaching, we have like elite level in-person coaches like Jack, etc. You know, we have everything at your disposal. So when you ask me, what is it that bothers me? I would just prefer if it was just like, take out because I touched on earlier on all the fake bullshit and, you know, the fake beefs, and every year I have a different coach that thinks that he's in beef with me, or there's like there's some competitiveness. I'm like, dude, like, last year I didn't know who the fuck you were.
Majority of it's probably self.
They invented
it.
Yeah.
People love drama.
If anyone actually knew Alan, like,
I didn't know who the fuck you are, and like, it's like every year there's a new one, or the same one sort of tries to do it again. I'm like, whatever. I would just rather when I'm referred to, we're elite at what we do.
Yeah.
The gym is elite at what it offers. You know, if you're a high rocks athlete, or you're a triathlon athlete, right? I'm not the best coach for you, right? So therefore, how can you be referred to as the best coach, right? This gym is not the best gym for you if you are an ultra endurance runner, you know. Well, it's overkill. Why do you're not going to use any of this shit?
Equipment wise, not
So you see what I'm saying? But I have no problem saying I'm elite at what I do, and the gym is elite in what it offers.
Yeah, you got to be confident in what you do, right?
I can speak as a member. Like, when I say it makes it impossible to train any other, I'm not shitting on any other gyms. I'm fully aware you've got like really well equipped, great gyms around the country. I haven't been to the likes of Nebula or anything like that, but you know, you're talking about like Southside, there's other gyms that everyone's training. Yeah, like there are really other gyms. When I say it makes it impossible to train, like, well, first of all, we think of convenience. I live like 18 minutes from here, so like, why the fuck would I go anywhere? First of all, right? But secondly, like, in terms of when I come in here, it's the atmosphere. It's the community we have with here. You know,
it's like a club, isn't it? Do you know where you have your t-shirts?
I don't like that term. Like, yeah, but I don't like. Yeah, but like
it's cult, bro.
It's cult. Yeah.
I fucking hate it when people. I hate when people. I hate when people refer to the AK as a cult. But
that's why I put the circle. You ever notice the red circle?
That's their cult thing.
Yeah, because I've heard one or two people use it derogatory that like, well, AK is just a big cult.
It drives me
what?
nuts.
But now I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Just own
But
it. That's
it's for like
This is our circle. Sweet.
like, but this, you go in here and it's the atmosphere. It's the, you're looking around, everyone's working hard. Everyone's just there focusing on their own shit. It's the atmosphere we've created, like the people that are in here, good people, but the equipment, it's just incredible. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so I guess for me, it's like when I say it's impossible, because I just don't want to. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I have like, the way people are like, need a change of scenery. For me, it's like, fuck no, like I don't want to change the scenery. This is, this is the happy place, when you come, when you have spare time. And
you get your coach right there, you have your posing room right there.
Yeah, exactly, so like it's just that kind of, that community you have. But I think that like, that's not something that can be like, we have the state of the art, equipment here that Alan has put in, okay? But in terms of atmosphere, community, that's something you can't buy. That comes from the people that are in this gym and that run this gym. They are, and the people.
Brian remembers that he has like this crazy skill at remembering everybody's name.
Oh, I'm terrible at that.
And he's really good at, know what's going on with their life.
Every time. I know
I'm
I'm terrible at it as well. I try.
buddy.
Hi, buddy.
He's so good. He's like, someone saying, Mary, how are you? How's your husband? John, nice to see you. But I'm like, I'd be looking at him and awesome something like, dude,
how do you do this?
And then he knows, like, he's like Rayman.
For
he knows, like, do you know this amateur bodybuilder he's a middleweight from Italy, is competing this weekend? Like, no, mate. This is coached by me. I haven't a clue. And he's like, oh yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know how you know all of this. That's where he's really smart, is his retention of names, and that adds to the gym. Because when people come in, their name is,
Like, I think like, this is the first gym I've been in where I've like felt comfortable getting to know people. Like, I obviously would have spoke at the kind of the events of like, when I used to go into a gym, just from the area I'm from, is like, people kind of be listening, like, there's Christian McLennan. And it wouldn't be in a good way in terms of like, oh, there's that guy's massive. They weren't saying that. It was like, there's that fucking weirdo. Do you know what I mean? Like, that guy's weird. Do you know what I mean? There's that fucking weirdo. So I did just develop this anxiety that whatever gym I was training at, even when I was fucking competing, actively competing, whatnot, I kept my fucking head down because that stuck with me. Do you know what I mean?
People are judging
I'd
you.
almost think if anyone was looking at me, they must be saying something bad about me or whatever. But like, this is the first gym I felt comfortable to truly get to know people that not necessarily are bodybuilders. Like, a lot of people.
That's the sign of just, a really good gym in your discipline, is that when you come into a gym, you should feel welcome. You should feel
that's
like
the thing,
you
welcome.
belong.
Like a belonging.
And all good gyms are like that as well. You go down to Davy and Nebula there, it's the exact same thing. You're welcome with open arms.
And they're really good with that. Like, and that just matters. It really matters. Like, we went to Marbella back in March, and we had the Oxygen, and it's a nice gym. It's got some really nice Cybex pieces. It's got some nice Gym 80 pieces.
It's dead,
and they're just a little bit of a dick at reception. It's just a little bit cold, the atmosphere. It's just, so it's a good gym, but there's no atmosphere,
You can have all the latest and the greatest equipment, but like if the atmosphere is shit, it like really upsets
Lots
your
of great
rhythm
gyms. I was
completely.
saying to I was on my holidays, there were lots of great, like, good gyms in Marbella, but it's missing that atmosphere. It's missing
and the
just
equipment is just not maintained.
Exactly,
I'm going to do my trademark and I'm going to go for it.
Go.
But it is exactly that. It's, you go in there, you have to make the, you're used to having like really nice chest, like the Strive chest press there, and you're kind of like, you know what I mean?
It's the same,
like,
where's the atmosphere?
Yeah, and the same, and then it doesn't move the same way, so it's just, I think it's just that community, and I can speak to that. It's like, as I said, I was so, something that just became like engraved in me. It was just almost like, that's where a lot of that social anxiety came from. It's like, I knew people would be talking to me in a bad way, because then they'd be kind of laughing, and I just developed this thing to kind of just look at the ground, don't look, just you're here to train, whatever. And like, I just, wherever I went, whether it was like, if I knew some of the guys like Paul or stuff in Westside, because I competed, and it'd be okay talking to them because I felt safe, But there's some people who don't, you know what I mean, or whatever it was, like, keep to myself, and that's where a lot of people thought, he's so fucking, he's so ignorant, he's so ignorant. And probably to this day, because like, but here I'm getting much better being able to speak to people I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And like, the first time that's ever happened, and that's purely because of what Al and the guys have created here, So,
guys, I just want to move from this topic. I need to get something off my chest here.
Go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Things,
Okay.
right. Glasses have to come off first.
You're in a safe place.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
What the fuck is going on with drivers here in Ireland?
What's wrong with us?
Honestly, like,
I'm a great driver.
Well, you don't want to get a car with me.
Christian drives like a turtle.
okay, so he's one of the,
his
he's part of the problem.
his car-
Slow and steady
his
wins the
car
race.
beeps.
Slow and steady.
He
He was
has
telling me about
oh my days.
But he keeps it on just to annoy
And he
you.
keeps telling me, you know, you can turn that off.
What is it when you go over the speed limit, right?
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep.
You ever get an audio note from me, you'll hear it.
Driving on the highway, right? Going into the correct speed, obey the laws of your country, right? If I'm in the fast lane and somebody is in the slow lane, right, and he's coming up to a truck, two things normally happen, right? One, he waits till he's right up the arse of the truck first and then decides to move into my lane.
Yeah, shoots out
or
in front of
two, right, will indicate 3/4 of the mile down the road, and I'm like, okay, are you coming or not? So when I decide to take off, as then he decides to come into the lane.
Oh, then I'm not part of the problem. I just stay in the slow lane.
Yeah, you're the same.
I just stay there. I'm in my happy
Christian
place.
is the car in front of the truck, slowing the truck down.
Ah, okay, right, okay.
When we went to Marbella.
He's arriving alive. There's nothing wrong with a Christian.
We went
He does
go-karting.
as well, yeah.
Oh, take your time.
Oh
Absolutely.
no, I've lost him when he's like, oh no, I'll follow you. And I'm like, look,
We went
where's this guy?
go-karting. We went go-karting in Spain, March.
like a nice lad.
Everyone overtook me about 5 times.
That always
I was
happens
just
to me.
there, la-di-da-di-da.
That always happens to me because I'm heavier. Like,
No, it was just me being very safe,
Yeah, take
making
it
sure I
back.
didn't bang into
Yeah, he's
anything.
not
10 and 2 on the wheel.
Like, that's not
Feeding the
exaggerating.
wheel.
He
Was
went to
delighted with
place. They were like.
But he
these
got
were
there, though. He
fast
got there in the
carts.
end,
I think
right?
they were 500cc carts we were using. They
Were
were
they
like
really? Wow.
legit racing carts.
Yeah.
He got there in
I'd
the
say I
end.
could have jogged quicker than Christian. Like your foot must have been like 10% on the pedal.
I was slow and steady, and I didn't get injured,
Wait,
so I
were
was
you
very
feeding-
happy.
Did you feed the wheel?
Competitive.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Feed
the
the wheel?
lads were going at it, like, and I was just there watching, going, "Who's gonna now? This is great now. Ah, it's a lovely little drive."
Yeah. Great turn, Alan.
I was getting a thumbs up of approval.
You're doing great, Alan.
You're doing great, Alan. You're gonna do it.
Even just coming to a T-junction, right? It's like if I'm going through, right, the guy's standing at the stop. Now I can see he's slowly creeping up, but he's very unsure what he wants to do here. He's like, are you going to commit, or are you going to wait till I'm right up your arse before you decide to do something? You know, and then he's slowly creeping up. Now he's already blocked the road, so carry on, keep going. You know what I mean? That's one thing, right? And the second thing is, are you guys aware of any training plans that have a superset with texting? That's a new thing that's on the gym, where people hit a set and then they text.
You know what? Sometimes I always I would because of the app Al has. We can log.
Oh, it looks
so
like
I
you're
always
texting,
give
yeah,
benefit of the day. Just but yeah, that should only take 2 seconds, right?
Yeah, that really bothers me.
Yeah.
And bringing monsters, like I've banned.
Oh, yeah, the monster.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Banned in our
Crazy.
It's illogical. Does it make
Yeah.
sense? Take them before the gym,
Absolutely
yes.
illogical.
Yeah.
You're drinking
Mental,
coffee
yeah.
during your session.
And expect it to
Yeah.
hit you straight away.
Like, and then you wonder why you're not sleeping. You know? Yeah, because your fucking caffeine actually kicked in after your session.
That's just flat out dumb. It's really
So you know, next weekend you have like 15 clients being like, "Oh, I can't sleep."
Yeah.
What did you do? Oh no, I had coffee with my
Surely you have
postman.
fizz as well, and they were told me when you're training that can't be good either, right?
that,
No, definitely not. It's going to bloat you. But yeah, I don't know. It's. I feel like it's more of a trendy thing, isn't it?
Oh, of course
You
it
know,
is. You have to have
having
your monster. You take a picture of your monster
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in for legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Picture of
Your
monster.
Picture of your
Yeah.
monster.
You'll be seeing that monster pretty quickly.
Then you have to put your bag up beside it with
there
your
is
all
like
in
a-
or all or nothing on it.
There is like a specific cohort, isn't there, though? Of
Yeah.
Like it's like females and
Very impressionable young
ones.
people.
Yes.
The youngsters. Yeah.
Influencers. Influencers, aren't
Just
Yeah, of course.
complete sheep. They have to do whatever the other person's doing. They're
It's, you know, we were just talking about online coaches and just kind of the influence and stuff like this. It's sort of like, do you know when you have somebody and maybe it's their first show, maybe it's their second show, and maybe they do well, they win, but they have no coaching background, no qualification or whatnot, but then a few days after the show,
Online coach.
suddenly it's online coach. And you're looking at this person going, I'm pretty sure, like everything you've just done for this prep, you've learned it all and followed exactly what your coach has done to a
Essentially,
T.
you're gonna copy and paste
So
it to your
basically,
clients.
what you're going to do is you're going to copy exactly what your coach has done.
But what you're getting there is even more dangerous because it's like Chinese whispers. Because
Absolutely.
there might be good information coming from your coach, but it gets worse and worse and worse. It's
What do
passed
you
down.
do? What do you do when you come across a stubborn like body, right?
You're full-time working in the post office. You've done one show, you've won this show, and now you're the specialist.
Crazy.
It's
And you
even
have it in
done,
your profile.
It's even done a photo shoot.
Specialist. Yeah.
It's one photo shoot now, and you can put it in. You know,
Would you-
This is why the barrier of entry in this industry.
there's none.
There has to be
Actually, there's
something
none.
though. It has
Anybody
to be,
can put it up.
or it has to be vetted at least, because of obviously the stuff that's came out with fraudsters and lads sexually assaulting females, and
Yeah, not great.
There's a lad in the UK that I don't know if you've seen that. One of Christian Chapman's clients, she got absolutely pummeled by her boyfriend, who was apparently a coach as well. Yeah, she's a bit. I've seen a picture of her. It's like,
Christ.
I think she broke her orbital bone and left to die on the street. Yeah, in America or some shit like that. Did you not see that? No.
No, that's
I saw
shocking.
something
Yeah,
like
it
that.
trended
Yeah.
all around. I think she's pretty good. It's something. I think her name's like
Flexi Bobby or something. I
Fit
could be wrong.
Barbie or
Fit Bobby,
something. Yeah,
like
something like that. Yeah. I think,
Don't kill us for butchering the name, please.
yeah. I think Christian and her had like won a couple of PCA shows or something like that.
yeah, really, yeah.
Recently, and it, again, look, I don't pay
what a
too much
piece of
attention,
shit.
but I think they went on holidays after, and lads, she got battered by her fella, and I think her fella is a
Christ.
coach. Your man Goob, I think.
He did a
Oh,
video.
that guy,
He's done a
yeah,
video
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
There needs
Yeah.
to be, I don't know, like,
Then stuff that happened over here, sorry to talk over you, but then stuff that happened over here with your man out in Marbella, who, you know, I actually used to coach him. I'm not surprised. None of that stuff that came out
Surprised you?
surprised me. It's one of the reasons why I stopped coaching him, was because I knew some of this stuff in the background. Not the frauding people out of money, but like he frauded the photographer, him and another lad, and you know, stuff.
just,
There's like birds coming out saying that. Is that a sexist term to use? Birds, sorry.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Females.
Yeah.
That were in the photo shoot prep. They were coming out with sexual assault allegations. About, I don't know whether it was about him or it was about the other fella, but like, that's what the
It's this
fuck is
this little
going
bit
on?
of fame that they think they have is getting to them, isn't it? They just fucking.
What's fake followers on
know?
Instagram isn't
That's
fame.
it.
Yeah, I just find it really, really worrying what's going on.
There needs to be something, right? Some sort of you know,
Barrier
if we have a PT cert, why don't we have some sort of an online coaching cert? I know that people say that's a money thing, or
But we can go after
But
people.
everything is like anything that
but you need to have
happens,
something, right?
It's like everyone says it's a money thing, you know.
But also,
You need to have
if
something.
you're not a qualified lawyer, if you're not a qualified doctor,
Yeah.
there you know, something can, you know what I mean, like there are consequences for these things.
But like there's-
they need to introduce this. Like if
we
you're
look
not
at
qualified,
bodybuilding, right?
this is someone's body. Like,
If we look at bodybuilding,
for health, yeah.
yeah, you know?
you're pushing a physique to the extremity, yeah? And then you're looking at, you know, pharmacology, and you're looking at, you know, anabolics, obviously, you know, anabolic aids coming in, and so on and so forth, right? So there's different aspects. One, from a diet and standpoint and physiology, we're pushing to the extreme. Low levels of body fat, you're pushing to the extreme. From a pharmacology standpoint, there's substances being brought in, again, driving you further into the world of extremities, yeah? Right, so we can establish that this sport, it's, you know, some people don't call it a sport, but this space that we're in, it pushes individuals to the
Yes.
extreme, yeah?
And health to the extreme if you're not careful with it.
If
If you don't know what you're
John
doing.
was working as a postman for the last 10 years and he won a show last month and now he's quit being a postman and now he's prepping people and he's a specialist online with no qualification, no background. Now, maybe I've just wasted hundreds of thousands of euro and fucking a decade and a half of my life actually doing formal education, but I'm not saying that everybody needs to go to the extents that I did. They don't. But, like, how can you then go in and be okay with doing the aforementioned that I've just mentioned here? Yeah, you've no coaching, you've no experience, you're pushing physiques to the absolute limit, and everything that you have is, you know, taught through the coach that you had throughout that prep, or maybe 2 or 3 preps, and just because you've got a passion for it. People are looking at it as a quick buck.
Yes.
Now, if I watch fucking a full season of ER, I am not gonna go in and fucking take your appendix out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I get a flat tire and I change myself inside the road, I'm not opening a tire shop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think is an incredibly important thing to stress to people is that they're just coming into this, they're looking for a coach, that anybody can get you shredded. They're going to tell you to eat less and move more. Please accept that. And you'll look shredded and you might think you have muscle, but you really don't have a lot of muscular development at all. But if you can actually get someone shredded in a healthy manner, that's the thing that they're not doing.
And
right?
get them out. Get them out.
They're destroying people.
Yeah.
They're
But get them
destroying
out.
people, you know. So
But that's what I mean, Brian. Like,
that message is
you get
needs to be
someone
out there.
exactly. You get someone peeled, and you lash T3 into them. You lash the clen, all the
photo
the
shoots.
tread. Exactly,
For
right?
photo shoots, it's
Okay,
absolutely
what do
wild.
you
That's the
do?
moral compass, though. Some people's moral compass is fucking.
they don't
backwards.
care.
They care about that result. But what
it's
do
always
you
just a
do?
before and after picture. Don't care how on earth they get you.
But if that was the first time they've done it, okay, and they don't know what to expect coming out of that phase, and they're really struggling with the appetite, they're binging, whatnot. Like you know what I mean? It's like this coach is giving me no support because they don't know what to do.
That's
Or
right.
they
Do you
don't
know?
care.
Yeah, well, there's that
Because they've
too.
got
Yeah,
what they wanted out
just
of
do
it,
a
right?
It's
few
a mix of
milligrams of
both,
Retta.
right?
Yeah.
A few milligrams of Retta be grand.
Yeah,
It's a mix of both. But
Crazy.
I think what the stress is also with that is the big point is, can they actually develop a physique? You know,
But it's bodybuilding, not body breaking.
exactly. But all we're seeing is people getting people shredded for summer 6-week camp and all this kind of bullshit. But we're not seeing, we see it, right? Because we know bodybuilding. But are they actually making this person a better balanced bodybuilder in time? Most of them aren't. They're still doing the same thing: eat more food, lift heavier weights,
But this is where
take more drugs.
You're
Drugs is the
you're an
ultimate.
Instagram specialist. You're an Instagram expert.
Yeah.
And it's sort of that mentality of fake it till you make it, because you can play Instagram well and build this facade, and you know.
If you're a good marketer,
But eventually, lads,
the cream
as
does
we
rise to the
see-
crop.
Yes, eventually, because you can talk.
And these guys-
eventually, your athletes have to walk out on stage.
That's correct. Yeah.
And you don't have an Instagram. You can't turn up the saturation on them when they're on stage. You can't sharpen up.
But
them up
eventually
on the stage.
Hide from those stage lights.
Also, these people might like the guy over in Marbella, those two guys and stuff. Eventually, the stories come out. How they destroyed people's health. Their hormones are fucked. Their thyroid's fucked. Eventually all that stuff does come out. So eventually they will get caught. But it's the lives that they're affecting until that happens is the really, really awful part.
Yeah.
Deceptively.
I think if there was any message to give today is like, spend time, if you're looking to go get a coach, spend a bit of time and do a bit more research. Don't just jump at this kind of person because you're looking at those,
I do think that can be hard to do.
Yeah,
because people can build up such a facade on Instagram that like they can look the part. As I said earlier on, like you can be that Instagram expert, that Instagram specialist, and it's only when because you don't know what you don't know, right? And it's only if you know what to look for that you can see the cracks. Like, right, well,
exactly.
How long have you been doing this? How in depth is your actual knowledge? How in depth? And even if we look aside from academics, let's look at how many athletes like me have you had on stage?
It's like I don't know if you guys are big into cars, right? But
last month you haven't had much.
But my point to that, Al, is let's say someone stumbles across your page, right?
Yeah.
And they're seeing a lot of obviously you've got plenty of photos highlighting, how you're an athlete out on stage, how they did whatnot. But how many education pieces do you have up there in terms of just explaining how things work? How many stories do you put up constantly, just giving
more
us
stories.
what I mean. But my point being, if people spent that time researching versus this other person,
what they're seeing is, especially if you're a young person, you want to become an influencer. You go to those two guys that are in Marbella saying, you come over here, you can have all these cool cars, we'll have this cool photo shoot. That's what they go. They don't go for Alan, who they're like, oh no, this is the guy's a bodybuilder. This guy's a bodybuilding coach.
Something's just gotten very, very strange in this game.
Well, it's just taking advantage of vulnerable people, and they're very good. They're good salespeople,
Yeah.
and they have good marketers working for them.
Yeah.
And they're just taking advantage of
That's
vulnerable
what I
people.
see though, especially where you see a lot of gaslighting. This is the next big thing. I foresee his future. I foresee her future being
You're going to be a pro in 2 years and all that shit. Yeah.
magnificent.
Like what we
and this,
touched on the first episode.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that if you truly believe it as a coach, right? But a lot of it is fucking just mental manipulation
Yeah,
of that individual.
Yeah, he's going after
It's
vulnerable
horrible.
people. Yeah,
They set out this plan for 3
no,
or 4
it
years.
is true. It is. You see the fancy, the this, the that. You know what? Like, but like, you know, it's just sort of like at one stage. Maybe you have to wait till you get older. You realize that car. Maybe they probably were renting that just for the content.
Of course.
You know, or it's like that villa. Maybe they rented it for the day. You know, but maybe that just comes with time. And look, God knows I've made my fucking more mistakes than anyone, you know, in my past and whatnot. And, you know, there's lots I regret. But, you know, I think, look, you learn from it and whatnot. But you are right. Unfortunately, this is something, we're talking about this now. But for the guys we're talking about, there's going to be another 5 more.
But look, at the
You
end
know,
of the day,
and there's always more.
Sorry, I'll keep talking over you.
Oh, so obviously, you know, I think one of the things that affect people the most in this is the fact that, look, majority of bodybuilders are people that are physically insecure. You know,
Yeah.
they're not happy with how they look.
Yeah.
So you just need that
99%.
one guy just to be like, no, I can turn you pro in 2 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Because
he's
they're
like,
so desperate to-
Been there.
you know,
Well,
yeah.
it's what the grass is always
exactly what
greener.
they told you to do.
The grass is always greener, and somebody gets into your DMs. You look great, but
Like
if you
that.
used X
See that
drug
there?
that you don't know, if
Oh,
you use
fucking
X
hate
drug,
coaching.
you know,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, I think it's one of the most
But it's so easy.
disrespectful
You're taking
things.
advantage of someone at their lowest.
One
Like,
of my
you know.
athletes said it to me yesterday. I was training with him yesterday morning, and he has a really good athlete that is competing this year. And he was like, he showed me pictures of him. I was like, bro, it's a fucking hell of a job. He's going to do very, very well. And we were just conversing back and forth as to this is what I'm thinking about doing. I was like, yeah, mate, that's what you're planning here is personally the route I would go, and you're doing a fucking hell of a job with him. So that was that. And then he tells me such and such was trying to poach him, which is no surprise, right? Yeah. So we all know,
Yeah.
right? Such and such is trying to poach him. Like, this stuff, lads, how as an athlete, if are people that needing that mental masturbation so much that, you know, they need that, like some, not a randomer because he's jumping into everybody's DMs, poaching, like, to make them feel good, and like, and they like that, and then they ditch. Now this fella didn't. This fella told his coach straight away, but they're ditching and they're going and they're bouncing. I'm like, as a coach, if you are jumping into DMs, now look, there's nothing wrong with, like, let's say, like, you've had some really good success over the weekend, and let's say I knew one of your athletes. I don't, and congratulations, by the way, because they look fucking great.
Thank you.
But let's say I jumped into, you had a girl in figure, was it? Yeah, she looked fucking excellent. Let's say I knew her on a talking basis, and I messaged her, I was like, fucking hell of a job, you fucking nailed it, well done. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
No, of course
At
not,
all.
yeah.
That is not me poaching, that is not, you know, vice versa, that's not poaching.
Yeah.
But there's a,
Once
there's
that
a
word
sneaky,
once that word "but" is
there's
included,
a sneaky motive, you know, that we see, and the whole of the industry over here has seen it from certain individuals, right? It's fucking crazy. I just stop.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with having a bit of rapport. Like, I have rapport with, you know, some of Vinny's clients and, you know, other coaches that I coach or that I get on with and their clients and stuff. I'm never trying to poach them. You know, there's just nothing wrong with saying, job well done.
Yeah.
Or,
But if that's,
you know, messaging another coach and being like, fucking hell of a fucking job. You know?
but surely if that's how you're actually getting clients, you want to have a good, strong look at your systems and how good of a coach you
Is it
actually
not
are.
embarrassing?
Exactly. If you need to do that, like, why the hell do you need to do that?
It's crazy. And then, like, we
it's so
speak
morally
about
wrong,
building
though.
respect
So
in
morally
the
wrong.
industry and building, you know, authority in the industry. And this is where I go back to these. You can talk all over Instagram, but eventually you need to show your worth. And I feel like the moral compass of some individuals just fucking backward.
Yeah, for sure.
And just by the way, guys, I'm a snitch, eh? So, for example, if Christian had to decide to come work with me, right, and he didn't tell Alan, I'll tell Alan. Just put it that way. It doesn't matter whether it's Brian or Christian that's coaching. If a client comes to me and they're like, oh, I want to work with you, I'll snitch. I'll be like, hey, did you close the door there? No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, man, look here, Alan, just to let you know this is what's coming tomorrow.
I've had that a few times with people that have inquired and they've been coached by other coaches around, and I've just said it to them, look, such and such, I can see from your Instagram you're still coaching. Such and such has reached out, they said that they've closed the door, blah blah blah.
Just want to confirm.
Yeah.
As long as it's all above board, like
Yeah,
they're genuine,
exactly,
they're genuinely, hey, I'd like to go and try just a different training approach or something.
wrong with that.
That's
Oh, yeah,
completely
no,
fine.
100%. Yeah.
I can hand on my heart say that I've been in this industry. I'm 36 now, so I've been in this industry a fucking long time, and I've never once poached a client.
Oh, no, you should never have to.
Like
You
I've
should
never
have
jumped
to.
into a fucking DM and being like,
Of a vulnerable person,
Yeah,
because you're
yeah.
picking up that person that hasn't done particularly well. They've been
Yes.
I
built
can
up.
see your peak was horrible. Like,
Yeah.
trust me, I
Well,
could have.
well, that's pretty much what's happening, though.
Show
That's
from
what's-
said
yeah.
individual I could have.
Yeah.
Your peak was horrible. I could do X, Y, Z. No, why would I?
Yeah.
You won like.
No, but there's always
what's that doing?
there's always a little. You look great, but
Yeah.
and then there's a little knowledge, little drop that maybe they might pull them in.
Well,
I'll just coach you for free.
Yeah.
Coach you for half price.
Yeah.
You're not in fucking Turkey, bro. This ain't the fucking markets, you know.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
Well, what does it
You
say?
know what kills me about as well, like when you see, certain persons getting coached by whoever the heck it is, and you see them putting up like training footage, and it's absolutely shockingly bad.
Yeah.
Like the classic one is, a rear delt fly, and it's all just traps and rhomboids, and it's good lighting so they can see their traps and rhomboids, and the coach will put it up. The coach should be ashamed to put that up.
Yeah.
It should be like, please do not tag me in this shit. Like,
Yeah.
That, isn't it?
Yeah.
But not to
Yeah,
see
'cause
that
it's a
though.
Scottish accent. The Scottish accent's fucking hilarious.
But
for
that
stuff
goes
like
back to that coach has clearly shown they cannot develop a physique. If they don't see something wrong with that as a rear delt exercise.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason a lot of times you see it more with females when they're doing that, or face pulls and all this shit.
They should be, the
Because
proper thing.
their backs
there
look
goes-
shredded and shit,
Yeah,
like,
literally, you should be private messaging going, you're like, that's the form here is not on.
I would message someone and say, look, I'm not going to put this up. This is the reason why. Please send me more form videos.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
and then
doing this
also
correctly.
I'll send you a video back of how I want you to perform this. You'll execute it,
Lat pull down's another classic one because once again you can see a lot
Look,
of detail.
these
in
are the
back.
same people who are promising the world to these clients, and look, 7 weeks time we'll see where they land.
I don't want this
Show one.
podcast to turn into anything negative. It's
No,
more-
it's not. No,
It's
it's
just
It's
more-
getting out.
it's a
It's
warning,
getting
I think,
stuff
you
out
know?
that needs to be
Yeah.
out there. though.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
all. Like, look,
Yeah.
Big thing.
everybody knows that.
Anybody can get you shredded. Please believe that. Less food, more activity. You're going to get shredded.
As a coach, you
It's
just
just
need
something
to
to
have
watch
your
out for.
morals,
Yeah.
and there's, we speak about, a coach and I, we speak about skin in the game and experience and academics, but ethics, ethics amongst your peers and the individuals that are paying for your service.
Yeah.
The morals
for
at the end
sure.
of the day.
You focus a lot on training videos. Yeah. That would be like your...
That's my jam. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's your jam.
I love it.
Yeah. And you had a seminar yesterday, was it?
yeah.
How'd that go?
It was good.
Good,
It was
enjoyed
good.
it.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you. It was not a huge turnout, but it's the first one. It's good. I love teaching training because I think the biggest way you can possibly change a physique is making someone move differently.
For sure.
Like we all know that as bodybuilders, but the average person doesn't know that. That's what I'm saying. When they go to a
I lot
coach,
of bodybuilders know that too. I'm actually
Most
just
don't,
putting up a reel.
yeah.
So let's not clip this because I literally only shot a reel about this the other day.
Oh, really?
I'm
Yeah,
going to post
yeah.
during the week. But
they keep on doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
if we're looking at the primary variable to change a physique,
Training,
Training.
1,000,000%.
training,
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
right? You can't out milligram shit training.
Never.
You can't out diet shit training because you're just going to end up like a string bean on stage, So often we see, unfortunately, athletes. I don't want this to come across negative at all because it's just putting awareness out there. But we see that, and maybe unknowns to themselves that they're training intensity due to, maybe being overdieted. I don't know. It can just be maybe they're just not mentally strong enough, or they haven't had a sit down with their coach and the right words haven't been said, and then maybe they just don't know. Jesus, the training is this important, but you can tell the greatest I feel compliment that you could get when you walk on stage is it looks like he fucking trains hard. Because it gives a level of grain, a level of size. But when someone is just chasing milligram usage, and they look like weathered,
It shows in the skin.
Yeah, and it just shows in the stringiness of the tissues.
Well, look at a mantis. You can tell that guy just trains hard as fuck.
Monster, and
that grainy, gnarly muscle, the Dorian thing,
You've got then just
the Hollingshead.
nutrition It's just this person can diet really well.
Yeah.
They'll take whatever and they diet really well, but the training is the missing link. The training is what creates adaptation, right? Sorry, the training is what creates a demand.
The builds the physique.
For nutrition, for rest, which creates adaptation. And then pharmacology aids, then they add salt to the meal, right?
10% is what I always say.
I don't know if there's a percentage on it, maybe,
But it's never what people think it is, right?
No,
People
because you can't tell fucking milligram shit.
They look at us and they say, "Oh, that's all gear." You know?
Yeah, which is like the easiest thing to make someone else feel better, right?
Yeah, of course.
But if it's all gear,
It's an excuse,
all training,
right?
you see it on stage, right?
It's a perfect excuse for somebody.
Yeah.
But I always
If I did what you did.
I always tell people that if somebody's like, oh, Christian's only good because he's taking so much gear, I always tell them, listen, I can take you and put you in that man's life for the whole prep or whole off season. The exact same calories, exact same gear, the way he sleeps, the job he goes to, the road he drives going to these places, you'll never look as good as him.
Never ever. Not with that limiting belief.
We'll find out soon, lads.
People
See if I still have it.
train hard once for an Instagram video or an Instagram reel, but it's really like, can you do that weekly?
But it's the accuracy of the training. It's the skill with the training that makes the physique different. That's how we develop weaknesses. Where are you physically weak? You're aesthetically weak there as well. When we look at lat development.
But
So
skill
many bodybuilders
precedes
don't last.
intensity, right?
Without fucking a doubt.
Absolutely.
But it's not, if we're right, skill precedes intensity, we all agree on this, but they're both of equal importance.
Yes.
Because skill without intensity is
Yeah,
fluff work.
absolutely.
Intensity
Yeah,
without
for
skill
sure.
is putting you down a path of injury. Right?
1000%. Yeah.
So
If you have both in combination or a nice balance of both,
we should be always.
you'll be an exception.
Exactly, but that is literally it. Right, I go on to what do we call the Mega Mass thing downstairs? The newish one.
45 degree linear row.
Yeah, the 45 linear row.
Pro.
Well, I put 5 kilos aside on each side, and I'm absolutely in terms of my execution perfect. Perfect. There is no intensity. Okay, right. So I put 2 plates aside, and I'm going for 8 to 10 reps. Okay, I'm going to control each one, get a stretch to the bottom, and I'm going to know I'm feeling it. There's no bicep. There's no bicep. There's no bicep. Intensity. I'm really working hard. I'm working hard. Cool. I go to 3 plates. And my biceps take over. Yeah. So it's that fine line, isn't it? Knowing, where is you do not drop form. You keep that tension on the back. We've spoken about this for that particular machine. You focus that machine. That tension is on the back. You're not bringing the biceps in because you put too much weight in.
It's the movement.
I'm sure Branch Warren would say otherwise, but yeah.
He's also a freak, right?
Yeah.
But if we're looking at a physique, that's why. If we're looking at like the poses on stage, right, all our mandatories, for me, the back double is like the most impressive.
Yeah,
right.
That shows if they can train or not.
Exactly. That shows if you can train your back or not.
The thickness in the lats right the way down through the erectors, everything.
There's so many, not so many because we don't have that many genetic freaks, but it's so irritating when you've got somebody that builds muscle quickly that they hit their back double and there's no back and it's just all arms.
Yeah. It's so obvious. Like, how does their coach not just say?
But sometimes they don't want to listen. And I've been there with athletes and they just won't listen, and it's
monstrous
the same,
arms and shoulders.
It's the same mistake just repeated. Now, I haven't had that athlete through a prep, but like I've seen it in the off season. It's the same mistake repeated.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If you can just be accurate with your predisposition for actual muscle growth.
With half the weight, with half the load, and then your career is going to be a hell of a lot longer.
It's all fucking there, right?
Yeah.
I suppose when we're younger, though, right? It's the ego gets there, and you're just like shifting big heavy weights, and we're dumb as hell.
If you're like, for me, right? I'll give my 2 cents first. When I look at a physique, we're going to just look at bodybuilding, right? We can go through with our classes as well, but I fucking love the back double, right? And for my reason is what we just touched on. I think we touched on it, me and you, Brian, on the floor before about training. I was only briefly, but we were sort of talking about it because we'd be the same mindset in terms of training.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
For me, the back double, I fucking love it because it shows what's been neglected what your knowledge, because your back is your hardest part to really connect with, right? Because of the different angles, the different muscle groups, etc. But then, how often do we see from the back, narrow hamstrings, underdeveloped glutes, etc. And this shows then, right, well, where has been neglected, where has not been neglected, where if we look at a back double and we have overdeveloped arms, and then you go into a back lat spread, you can't see the arms now.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't see the arms, and now you've got no fucking back. But if you can have a good back double, and then you've got a good fucking lat spread. Hey, if your back is opening up like crazy in a back lat spread, yeah,
You can sometimes get away with it with a lat spread, though, right? If you have a very good frame, but you won't see the thickness in the lats. You won't see the thickness in them.
I don't think so, because like if you look at the back lat spread, it's
Back double is nowhere to hide.
But you can't open up your fucking shoulder blades. Do you know what I mean? Like your shoulder blades aren't gonna stick out. So your shoulder blades, your scapula can only just rotate a certain amount, but your arms disappear, right? So maybe, I don't know, I started this as maybe the back double. I really like the fucking back lat spread because it also, I think the both of them.
The
right?
back double, there's nowhere to hide whatsoever. You see
definitely
the
not.
benefit of everything.
It's your most exposed, right?
And the most impressive to us. When we see a good back double, it's like, fuck, that guy trains.
But then if you take away the arms in the back lat spread, then you see, right, well, what is actually on the back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would be yours?
Shots wise.
Shot for me is definitely back double. I have to say that's like, if anybody has like a really good back double, that's like the killing blow, I think, for me
Yeah.
on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford type back double. You know, and then I'd probably say also.
Front lat. I fucking love that.
No. If we're choosing favorite poses, that'll be one of them. Yeah. And then it has to be like a side chest or a side tricep. I also think that also exposes the physique a lot. You know,
It shows
somebody's
your
got
density, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you've got underdeveloped
You
hamstrings
see
or weak chest.
the common weaknesses in the vast majority of bodybuilders, rear delts, upper chest, lats, and hamstrings.
Yeah.
They always see, especially amateur bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
So if anybody has those in amateur bodybuilding, it's like, oh, that guy gets it. Or
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
especially
yeah.
with females, right?
Yeah,
in
yeah,
bikini,
no, 100%.
they have obviously, strongly developed glutes.
Bikini in a minute. Bikini's a fucking.
But no hamstrings. So when they hit that side
crystal
pose,
Yeah.
no hamstrings, like,
Yeah.
What were you going to say about bikini? Because I was going to say that, I've got to be
Bikini
honest,
is a-
that's...
Yeah. Let's go through here first, and then we'll get back to the world. Its own fucking world, which is bikini.
yeah, it's hard.
What would be your favourite? Like we've touched on, like for me, I think the most exposing shot is back double. I think a back lat spread's really.
Side tricep as well, right?
I think the side tricep really shows density, right? You either have density or you
Yeah,
don't.
but the hamstring as well, though, right?
Yeah.
Hamstring shows condition incredibly well, shows kind of your attention to detail with your midsection. And
Yeah.
It's very exposing.
But would your front double not show more?
Yeah, front double's very exposing as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably my weakest, I think.
I don't know, I think...
If I'm looking at right, so I've pretty much gone against what I fucking said. I've pretty much named every fucking pose.
Yeah,
here,
every
right?
pose.
Yeah, they're all important,
Yeah.
right? Forget what I said.
What's the least important?
Least important.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting topic.
Abs and thigh.
Abs and thigh.
Yeah.
So if you could take one pose away from it, that's what you take away.
If I was to say, right, I need to have my client. If we can
be shit at
be
one pose.
phenomenal at every other pose, well, look, if you're phenomenal at pretty much all of them, bar one, you're going to win, right?
Yeah,
but let's say
yeah,
you're
you
good
should
at
have
all
it.
of them, or you're going to be competing against. You're not going to get outdone with all of them. Bar one is going to be like last place. It'd be abs and thigh. Like you might have been heavy in a previous life, and then maybe your abs and thigh isn't strong because maybe there's a bit of loose skin. and
Yeah.
Maybe you're just like The Rock, and you just actually don't have abs.
Yeah, some
like
people
your transverse
are-
abs are just flat.
Yeah.
I would say abs and thigh. What about you?
Also abs and thigh.
Yeah.
I think you can get away with side chest a little bit. You'll see the hamstring, but you can get away with kind of posing it well, like, you know.
So you would say you'd pick.
So
side
you would take
chest?
that away?
Yeah, I think
Men.
people can be more deceptive on a side
Okay.
chest.
Okay, fair.
You know.
Yeah.
Christian?
Side tricep sometimes can, for me, I think because there's too many different variations. Do you know the way people fucking get in and out of it, and because like you're not actually showing a side tricep here, you know. So
an interesting
it's
one as
often
well,
like often you'll see people like they get into it, but they completely go quad down into it, and they don't get marked down from it from all the time when I see it,
Only in
and they're
NPC.
getting it, yeah. So like you see them going, they're actually avoiding hitting
You
it.
will be marked down in NPC now. Just
So
highlight
I would
it
think
now
that would
and
be
say
my that maybe like one, but I do agree. I think like in terms of like most important shots.
But no,
I think
before we get to your most important,
Yeah.
if you could get one that like you're like, right, I'm happy to give up one shot.
Well, my ab and thigh is probably one of my stronger shots.
Yeah, but not you. Let's say you're not you.
I suppose. Probably, I suppose when we go through our mandatories, probably from behind, because like
Give up a back relax.
yeah, back relax, yeah, probably, because it's not really, because if all that's really showing, it's not necessarily showing the full impressive detail you can hit with a back double or a lat spread. All you're actually showing is glutes in, hamstrings in.
I don't know. Lads.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know, because if we're looking at that, right, when you've got your
Although if the lats hang, then you're sort of like, holy
right,
fuck.
if you've got your
We know who has the best back here.
if you've got your interpretation round and you're going out to walking through your mandatories, right, and we go through our quarter turns, and if you go right, they're pleased with your front relaxed, your quarter turn, and then you go to your back and they're not happy with your back, and then you've only got one quarter turn left, and then you're off, fall back in.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Look,
Yeah.
your first two shots that's gonna be called is your obviously your front relaxed and then your front double, right?
Then, okay, putting it that way, Alan, it has to be ab and thigh, because all that really shows is someone has good quad development and they have pretty chiseled abs. Yeah, it has to be then. Yeah, putting it that way, then it
Which you can
has to
pretty
be.
much see in
And
every
it's
other
the
place.
second one is in bodybuilding. It's going to be like your second last pose.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is very much kind of more like you're going to see if someone's in condition. You're going to see that their quads from all the other shots. You're going to see if they have abs when they hit a most muscular. So yeah, putting it that way, yeah, I would agree with that.
But then also, look, we're speaking in neither here nor there language, right? Because if you have an absolutely diabolical abs and thigh, well then the chances are your most muscular shit, the chances are
yeah, but
shit.
it's, you know what,
you're
it's
missing
actually,
something there,
it's
right?
quite subjective, isn't it? You're probably going to get a different opinion. Like for me, when I look at the most important shots, I would agree, and that's when I could be in trouble with, you know, I don't have a particularly good back double by, so that's something, you know, we'll have to see when I get to dial it down what that's going to look like. But I think then...
Back double is where we'll have our biggest issue with
yeah, without a doubt. You know, that is where
but
I will...
that's where our condition is...
Yeah, well that's, you know, my condition has carried me in the past with that shot, so it'll be just interesting to see how that looks, you know.
But your back lat spread's strong.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing, because my lats are okay. So, you know, again, that's... You can kind of make...
I don't know, a lot of people don't know that you've scoliosis.
Yeah, like I have scoliosis, so Alan's had to really kind of program it around, you know, where we've had to improve that. Yeah. So I kind of think since like Alan's really stickler in terms of like watching me and making sure my technique is perfect, and don't be loading weight that you have no business loading if you're bringing your arms into it. So that's something I've gotten very strict with, and my back has come on leaps and bounds, you know.
Where are you relatively weak in the back double?
I would say probably thickness, just that kind of thickness overall in that back double by. Yeah. Well, you're my coach, so absolutely.
Yeah, I thought you were asking you. Yeah, development in the back double, the thickness, the projection of the muscle, is because of obviously because of scoliosis, we have to manipulate the foot position a little bit, which then manipulates the width that we can get. So it does. The back double hurts us, but then we can manipulate things in the back lat spread that, you know, we can really open up. But then. The funny thing is, right, is that in the front lat, the front lat and the front double, we have great projection of the lats from the front. So it is, look, you know, you can't choose the cards that you're dealt. And Christian has scoliosis, and it is what it fucking is. Right?
Everybody has the relative.
This is where it will annoy me with, you know, we've been able to bring up Christian's back really well, and then there's others that have a really crazy, you know, growth potential there that just train wrong.
This is my thing all the time.
Yeah. You have the ability to build a crazy physique, but you're just
move differently,
pig-headed.
Yeah.
You know, and there's there's loads that fall into that.
I think we've worked really hard to try and compensate with that, to make that lat spread, that back lat spread, that bit better, you know what I mean? To try and be like, if I'm getting marked down here, we can try and at least bring the attention back up.
And over the next couple of weeks, that's you know, going to be a big thing for us. Is to, you know, with Christian, the biggest thing is his physique and his physiology is really unique in respect to he gets peeled really quickly from the front and the side, and then lower extremity to the back, which a lot of people don't. You know, Christian has his glutes are in already. but we carry our fat down on our back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's like this game of fine margins where we have to pull down to take the fat off the back, but because he's already peeled from everywhere else, well then you don't want to flatten it, you don't want to lose, you know. So it's like a little bit of give and take and watching and, you know, bobbing and weaving in that respect.
Me and Christian were talking about this before. Do you think it's something to do with like the hyperplasia of the fat cells from when he was heavier when he was a child and stuff? And it's always my thing as well. Like if I get any water, let's go boom, straight to my lower back.
I think everyone has stubborn fat somewhere, don't they?
Like if we were going to look at it in that respect, I would think,
I think there's something because I have the same thing. Like, you know.
Yeah,
but I think it's more of a genetic disposition to
That's
where
what I was
you
gonna
store
say.
body.
Yeah, I just think it's
You know what I mean?
stubborn fat,
Because
you know.
I'll use myself for example. Like all my fat goes to my midsection if I get really, really fat.
Yeah,
Right.
same.
But I'll still have dugout hamstrings.
Yeah,
For
same.
example.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's same as me.
Yeah.
My quads will stay fatted, but I'll carry like a bit of a pouch.
Yeah.
It's a curious thing, isn't it? Like, you know,
But
the different
if
fat
we're looking
distribution.
at, because obviously used to are, the politically correct word here to say?
Fat. Very fat.
Fatties, when you've got your own try. Some of it may be skin.
Robust.
You know,
Yeah, I don't mind that as loose skin.
You know,
though,
if
yeah.
we're gonna have a gathering, robust.
Rotund, that's a good one.
If we're gonna have that,
Big
then
boned.
you know you are gonna see it around your lower extremity from the midriff, right? But I think like well, the fact that you used to would carry, you're predisposed to carrying your fat in your lower back, I think is more coincidental than it is
Hyperplasia or anything like that. Like
I think it's more coincidental because again, if anything, we would say in Western society, most of us would carry it through the midriff from the front.
Oh yeah, you always see that last little pouch on the lower abs is always there for every man, isn't it? Every man.
Yeah. And then there's some that just don't have that. Like they might have like I've had lads that men's physique boys, and it's crazy. And it hasn't even been the decision making to put them into men's physique because they came to me as men's physique athletes, and I've had this chat with them. And it's like, did you pick men's physique because of X, Y, and Z? They're like, no, that's crazy. But their legs they don't get dug out conditioned. But upstairs is absolutely peeled beyond belief. But like their glutes aren't in.
Yeah.
You know. Now like look, some like Oscar's like he is as conditioned as a fucking.
Yeah, how is that man men's physique? I don't know. He's a monster.
Because he is strong as hell in squat patterns with perfect technique. Like trains legs like an animal, but cannot grow legs for the life.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone says to me, "Oh, Oscar, why don't you put Oscar into
Classic or something?" Yeah.
You know,
Open
Connor will
even,
be
yeah.
on Connor. Oscar will be on stage this year at about 105, 106 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah. When he started with me, so everyone says, why don't you put him in? And it's because of how he's genetically made up. I think he's just got no angina receptors in his lower body. They're all in his fucking chest.
I assume you've tried different kind of.
Yeah.
You've tried everything, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
I don't particually want to grow his legs. So he's going to be a men's physique IFBB.
Oh, there's a
very,
thing,
very
right?
short.
There's a bloody weight cap, isn't there, in the men's physique?
Yeah. But he's 6'1".
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be very near it, though, would he be?
Yeah, we'll worry about that when he's pro. Don't be talking to you about that right now. But he's incredibly fucking gifted as a men's physique athlete. And when he started with me, he was on stage his first season, which is that 2023 season that I spoke about with Eva. Oscar was in that cohort of the group that competed that year. And he was 76, 75 kilos. I think 75.8 kilos on stage in Alicante. Yeah. That was his weight, 75 kilos on stage, right? Very little muscle mass, good structure, very little muscle mass. And halfway through the prep, I was like, because it might be like, why the fuck did you put him into that? Oscar's goal with me was, he was like, I want to be an IFBB pro. Now, I spoke a bit about this in the last podcast, that I don't cut corners here with this. I'm like black and white.
If you don't see it, yeah.
So I had said to Oscar, I was like, you've got a really good structure. I know you've got the fucking the mental side nailed, and like you'll do, like if I said eat fucking grass, you'll eat grass. So I know all that, but what we need to look at here is we're going to do the PCA show. Hit the condition mark. If you hit the condition mark, I'll pop you into one of the big shows. He was like, I'd love to do Alicante. And I was like, I've got a big team going there. Go there, but just bear in mind you're probably going to be last. And I was like, I don't want you to waste your money and be thinking that you're going over here with a chance, because you're not. And he was like, no, I just want to go for the experience and this, that, and the other. He went over and there was X amount in his class and he was towards the back, which we expected. After that was his last show of the season. After that, then I had said to him, I was like, dude, man, he was, you know, like as an athlete, you're like a bit disgruntled, a bit like, oh, Jesus. I was like, but I told you this was going to happen, you know. And it's fine. You know, you're at the very beginning of your bodybuilding journey. I was like, you do one off season and I can guarantee you're going to come back and you're going to be in the mix. I never said win or like that. I said you're going to be in the mix. The man done one off season and put 22 kilos stage weight on it. He came back at 97 kilos on stage and won the Empro. So, and in a class of like 16, missed out on his pro card last year by a point. Then went to the Amateur O in Italy the next week and lost. He came second in his class, lost to the overall winner. He won his class in British finals, came second in the overall by a point to some English men's physique lad. So he's right on the cusp. And now he's going to be another, like everyone's like, oh my God, he put on 20 plus kilos of stage weight in that extended off season. Now he's put on another maybe 6-7 kilos on top of that this year. He's a freak.
He's just built to grow, yeah. He's
Freak. His upper body's just built to grow. Yeah. So
He was not curious, the legs, won't he?
Right, before we go to the bikini topic, I just want to ask Christian, because you're close to the show now. How are you feeling? What's going on in your head? You know, you ready to roll?
Yeah, sure. Week 2 of prep down now.
Week 2. 7 weeks out?
7 weeks out. 7 weeks out. Al's pulled calories down to, I think it's 4.7 on a training day and 4.4 on a non-training day. So food's still plenty high. I'm not really, I think the big thing is there is like going into it last time, obviously work was just crazy, you know, it really was. And then the traveling and whatnot and the fatigue, we just couldn't wash it off. But I was feeling a lot of pressure, you know. I feel feeling like thinking too much of what was in the past, you know, and like, you know, kind of a big part for me was two things really. It was like, look, the past, you gotta leave it there, you know. What once was, it's gone, you know. And then secondly, kind of had to ask myself, do you want to do this again? Yes or no? And when the answer was yes, you do, you know, it was like, hey, just get on with it now. So obviously we went on holidays, and then we got back from holidays. We officially started prep. We are, you know, it's feeling good. Just no expectations, no thinking about nothing other than just bring my best. That's honestly, that not much has changed. I'm just trying to keep my head down and just get on with it. Genuinely, I'm just feeling chill, very chill this time. No pressure, no nothing, everything's chill, just doing what Alan says. Well, Alan says this is the plan this week. Okay, these are the changes, go and do it. Just go and do it, you know. The big changes we've done, we're not doing cardio, you know, so Al's implemented 2 days of 2-a-day trainings. And then we're just gradually increasing steps a bit here and there. At the moment, we've just walked, test and masked up slightly. There's slew in place, some Motzi, and that's it. Yeah, and no clean or anything like that. Yeah.
Have you done 2-a-day training before?
Yeah, I did. I've done that before in a prep, and it's worked well. It's just what we're seeing with that now is like there's like been no, like my legs are staying nice and full, you know, and that's the big thing. So because back to Al's point, it's trying to find that balance of like not taking away from the look from the front, but trying to keep tapping away at the back, you know. But it's a nice place to be, I guess, in that, you know, because we have that 7 weeks, the front is there or thereabouts, that, you know, if we need to drop the hammer to some extent, you know, near the end to get that lower back in, we can, you know, there's plenty of tools to play with, right, you know. So I think the big change this time is just the mindset, you know what I mean? I'm enjoying it, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it, you know. I have no expectations, none, not one. I just want to get up there and enjoy it. Genuinely, that's the big difference. It's just like, yeah, I'm excited, looking forward to it. And when people ask, you're just like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm good, yeah, I'm fine, you know, just want to enjoy it, you know. So that's been the big change. Last time I was just doing his head in, constantly like, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I'm good enough, I really don't think I can do this, I'm going to make a fool of myself. And it's just like, stop, man, stop.
To that extreme, really.
Yeah. Just like, just get up there, pay your entry like everyone else. Just get up and see. Huh?
It's not that deep.
Yeah, exactly. As he said, it's not that deep. Just pay your entry, get up there and see what happens, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. You know, it's nothing. As Al told me, you know, like what happens, like, you know, does anything change your family? Nope. You know, you still go home to them. You know, does anything change your life, your friends, your anything? Nope. So just get up and enjoy it. Do it because you want to do it. So yeah, just in a much better place with it. Awesome. Genuinely. So yeah, that's been the big change, I think.
Okay, last topic before we do questions. What's your take on the bikini category here in Ireland?
The bikini category in Ireland, as in the standard?
Yeah.
Crazy good. It's our strongest cohort of individuals in the country. And I think that's very, very evident. Maybe people won't like me saying that. Sorry, lads.
The hardest workers.
Yeah, but look at how many bikini pros we have.
Yeah.
You know, we've had one that just turned pro yesterday.
5 pros, yeah.
Bikini pros in Ireland. And if you just look at, like, I can speak from my own, I don't want to turn this into the whole AK show, but I can speak in my own stable of athletes. I've got some incredibly good bikini athletes. You look at the shows, you know, we have some really good fucking bikini athletes there. It's just bikini in, the bikini standard is super high, but it's also, there's a look, right? And the look, it's really hard to explain. And you see coaches fucking clearly reading from ChatGPT about like small waist and this and, you know, voluptuous glutes, all this bullshit, right? So the look is very, very fucking simple. No, it's not actually simple, right? The look is very not fucking simple because it's coming from the hierarchy, right? If we're gonna just look at it in NPC, because we'll touch on maybe PCA in a second, right? And we sort of look at them as the two main feds, yeah? We look at NPC, standard is bananas, right? There's all, like, if you look at all the different categories, there's always, in the first call out in every category, there's maybe 2 or 3 that can go pro and will go pro. I was looking at Eva won our class in Sweden this year, again, and Eva's obviously now a pro. You had the overall winner of that show that went pro. The girl that came second in our class went pro in Spain a couple of weeks later. Another girl that came second in our class went pro a couple of weeks later, that same Spanish show. So that was like 4 or 5 out of that group of girls in Sweden. Now, Sweden is a ridiculously high standard that are now IFBB pros from one fucking show. You've got a month and a half or 2 months ago now or whatever it is, you've got now from Muscle Contest Ireland, 2 of them are pros. From that, and that didn't even have crazy amount of numbers there. So you get what I'm saying, and there might be others that come from that cohort that go pro in the future. So if we're looking at NPC, the standard is bananas. The look is really difficult because they don't want you too lean, and that was something that, you know, Eva's look looks better lean. And like some of the looks that she brought last year, if it was the Pro League, it would have been rewarded more. But even with that, they don't want you too lean either, but it would have been rewarded more, especially if you're hard and you're going against girls, a class lineup of girls that aren't as hard. You stand out maybe for the wrong reason sometimes. But then if you come in soft and everyone else is hard, they might think you're too soft. So there's a real, I feel, grey area in how they're judging it. Because even if you're looking at the overalls, there's, you know, 6, 7 girls from the said categories, high classes, and maybe 3 of them are slightly more soft. Not soft as in fat, but like on the softer side of the look. And then maybe 4 on the harder side of the look. And sometimes the harder is winning and sometimes the softer is winning. Then you've got girls with glutes that really project, and you've got girls with teeny tiny waists. You've got girls that have really good balance. You've got the taller classes then that look really, you know, they stand out because they've got wide delts. They've got like, they pop on stage, right? So it's such a different look. So therefore the winners do be a little bit different all the time. But there is a look, and there's a fine line in terms of the condition. And I'm not going to lie, you know, going through so many shows last year, obviously I've had a lot of fucking bikini girls on stage, and we've had thankfully a lot of success with bikini girls. But last year in particular, because of it's a very fast evolve. Like the class is moving quicker than, and I say quicker in terms of evolving and changing than any other class. I feel, yeah. So I learned a hell of a lot in all the shows with Eva last year as to what they wanted. And look, Eva was never really outside the top 2. So she was like always there or thereabouts. And, you know, you take that feedback too hard. Okay, I don't personally agree, but okay, we bring her in a little bit soft. And then she just start winning. So she hasn't been bet then. She won in Spain, then won in Sweden, and then missed her pro card out by like a point there, and then fucking went and won it then in Ireland, right? So it's like, right, we have the look now, but you need to have that balance. And the margins for error is like very, very small. But shredded isn't bikini.
Yes.
They do not want you like shredded. No matter how good you are, and trust me, I've learned the hard way with this. They do not want you shredded, and some of the American coaches will crucify you for that. And that's just the way it is. So it is. It's like it's probably the hardest division to coach, because you know you just don't know with bikini.
Fit model has to be
Before we go
there.
there, so that's what I was going to say as well, is that I think a lot of people still treat it as bodybuilding, as it's a conditioning game, and not realizing that it's not.
With bikini.
With bikini, yeah.
Yeah, and like
The subjectivity is difficult.
At the end of the day, right, you need to, if we're sort of breaking it down, right, bikini is a physique that needs to be balanced, right? It's not wellness, so you can't be out of proportion, right? So it needs to be balanced. If we start from the top, you need to have nice round delts, not too capped, not striated, okay? We move it down into, you need to have nice lats, not overly developed, so that it tapers down into the waist, okay? Glute development. Obviously, everyone's like, oh, that's fucking obvious. But if you want to be one of the standout bikini girls, you need to have excellent glutes. A lot of girls can, in the front pose, it can be perceived that they've got good glutes because they've got a small waist, and it can sweep into like how they position their hip. It can sweep into, okay, we think she has probably good glutes, and then they turn to the back and they've got no glutes, and they just get shuttled to the side. As you turn to the back, you need to be able to see nice rear delts, not striated, not over projecting forward, just nice, Obviously, we take into consideration your posing has to be absolutely fucking flawless, because the top girls in the NPC pose all like pros, because all of them really are ready to go pro, like straight away. That's why so much of them transition into pros, and they do so well straight away, where other categories they have to take years to grow, and so on and so forth. Bikini's not really like that. Your waist needs to be tapered, your glutes need to be full from top to bottom, right? So you need to have tall glutes, but they need to be projecting again. So when you transition from your front shot into your back shot, as you hit that transition there, you need to see that glute push forward and that development in your glute. As Eva gets conditioned, it's that shot that flickers, and that was killing us last year. That she's like like when Eva's on the more conditioned side, her front shot's crazy. I personally don't like her front shot too much when we have to bring her in fuller, because her waist can expand a little bit. Now her body was getting tired, so thank God she won a pro card when she won it. We needed a break, but we needed to take that striation away, because they'll kill you with that striation. But Eva's glutes are wild, so they step forward like monsters in that shot. So when she's conditioned, because of the sheer muscle mass there, they striate, right? So that transition pose is huge. As you go to the back, then you need to be able to, as I said, full glutes from top to bottom. A lot of girls are missing their upper glute, and they've got underdeveloped glutes, even though from the front it mightn't look that way. You need to have your glute hamstring tie-in etched, but not completely dug out, okay? So we don't want something that is peeled. Like, you don't want that. Shredded is your enemy as a bikini girl, but you need to be able to see it. So you need to be lean. Fat is also, or out of shape is also, you can't look like you're 4 or 5 weeks out. You need to just be on the money for that criteria. If let's say shredded is 100%, and we go shredded by like, not WPD shredded, let's say figure as the 100% max mark of shredded. Let's say you need to be 80% as a bikini athlete, or maybe 75. You know, you want to see your glute hamstring tie in, your adductors, development of your glute, but you do not want to have it peel.
Striations.
As it comes down, you need to see projection of the calf, but not projected.
Yeah.
As you walk, your glutes need to stay full. You can't have any sag. And as you transition from the front to the back, we don't want to see any loose skin. You want to see smooth glutes. You want to see full glutes, top to bottom. And with that then into your lower back, you need to see the skin tight, but not striated. As you walk, there is going to be some lines in your quads, obviously, but too much lines is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Striations is going to kill you. And again, the walk was another thing that hurt Eva, because she was walking, and as she was walking, it's particularly for the Poland show last year in the UK, which we were told by Maz after, he was like, what the fuck, she was crazy good but so peeled. Her legs just like shredded. Like she could easily hit figure. She did actually. Poland, she did hit figure condition, for fuck's sake. If she squeezed her glutes were striated, which is obviously why we didn't win the pro card, which I fully agree with. But that the condition will kill you. So it's like figure, it's a balanced look, heavily emphasizing towards the glutes. And if you're a bikini athlete, lose the mindset of being shredded.
Correct.
Shredded is your enemy.
Yeah.
And that 20 minutes later is the look.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Let's do a couple of questions and
Yes,
we'll be done
go.
here. All right.
Questions are always good. Quick fire.
I don't think we have any quick fire today.
Slightly less quick fire.
I'm really into my bodybuilding and I want to see where I can take it, but my partner complains that I don't make time for them. What should I do, or how should I navigate the situation?
Leave them.
Yes, absolutely. They're not supportive. Get rid of them.
Find out why they're not supportive. Yeah. Sit down, have a conversation.
There's usually something else there. You know what I mean? In terms of it, it's rarely to do with that in itself. You know what I mean? It's sitting down and figuring out what is the problem here. You know, because it's very rarely the root cause.
Communication. Find out why.
You know,
Yeah. That's it. Yes. Sit
Because
down, have a conversation.
Look, we all know people who certainly, they're like, if they're not supportive, dump them, get them out of the way if they're in the way. It's like, no, just have a chat.
That's it.
What's the issue? You know.
And then dump them.
Question for Alan. How do you handle clients who tend to overthink or have low self-esteem during contest prep?
Every client.
During contest prep, their low self-esteem has started long before contest prep, so it'd always be sort of looked at and discussed before contest prep. So you need to find the cause root. A lot of the time it's like your inner child and, you know, the perceived limits that you put on yourself. And a lot of us, you know, due to environments that maybe we grew up in and maybe people we've been around, we have these barricades over what we can and can't achieve in this life. And, you know, it's really boiling down to, well, what are you afraid of? Because the biggest debt anyone can pay, male or female, is regret. And I, for one, don't want to look back when I'm sitting on a rocking chair remembering these moments when I'm 70 years of age and think, oh, what if I just had have just put my fear aside and not really cared what people thought? Because again, something I've always said to Christian is, it's not that deep, you know. It really, really isn't. Let's break it down for what this is, and it isn't that deep.
It shouldn't be, but for a lot of people, you know, when you're competing, it gets into your head.
But that's because we're not having these conversations.
No, of course, yeah.
It's really looking at the inner workings as to why, and why have you put these perceived limits on yourself, and what happens if you go out and fail? You know, you're still healthy.
That's it.
You know, life doesn't change. Life goes on. You've done something that a lot of people can't do, and you know, whether you're good at this or you're not good at this, as I said, you've done something a lot of people can't do. But you've also pushed yourself, and you will learn a lot through bodybuilding. You'll learn a lot from bodybuilding. Yeah, and that will facet into other aspects of your life. So I don't think you can ever truly lose.
Yeah. I like to say that failing is fantastic because there's always some sort of lesson that will come from it at the end. Yeah. But it hurts for like 10 minutes.
You know, you have to think, it's define failing.
Yeah.
Did you give up on the prep? Did you give up on your diet? Did you give up every morning you had to get up and do cardio? Did you miss a session? If you can say, I gave this absolutely everything, I could, and I did not miss a beat. I was just beaten by a better physique on the day. That's bodybuilding, and it comes with the sport.
And never get tied till you have to win, right?
Yeah, yeah, for
Because
sure.
you
That
never know
that
who's
is
gonna
it.
stand beside you.
Unfortunately, when you get up there and you put on the suit, the trunks, whatever, you have to be ready to accept that you might be beaten on a better physique today. But if you can stand there and say, I gave this everything I could, and your coach is looking back at you and saying, you fucking did the best, we brought the best you could, you didn't fail.
No,
You
it's
just
a
didn't
win.
win. You didn't win
But
the.
a lot
You didn't.
of times it's
You
not,
didn't win
it's
the
not
first place
bodybuilding,
trophy.
It's really finding out as to if they're at low self-esteem, they've low self-esteem and everything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
If nobody is home, are you taking a shit with the door open or closed?
I'm used to just go close.
Yeah, why wouldn't
just
you?
habit. Just habit. Yeah, habit.
Force of habit.
Open. My man. Open. That's it.
I think it's habit for me to close the door. Yeah.
I'd feel more secure when I'm pooping if I was with the door closed.
No, man, that shit's open.
Best pickup lines for picking up a gym girlie.
Oh God, just don't do it.
That's how I met Eva.
Yeah, what was your smooth move?
What did I messaged her and
That doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
I met
No,
Alex.
this is lines if you're meeting a
Alex.
girl in a gym, for example.
for the first time like speaking to her.
I met Alex.
I'm the most socially awkward person on the planet, so I'm like,
Yeah, we haven't a bloody
That happened to me and Alex. We talked after we met in the gym.
I think you're
no.
definitely asking the wrong group of
I
guys.
really, yeah. This
I
is
just-
probably, yeah.
We wouldn't have a
Look at the
breeze.
ground and grunt.
Yeah,
Just get your session done, and figure
Look,
out how
we,
to
be
Look,
honest, Christian, we haven't a
if you
bloody
are
breeze. You're
listening
asking
to
the wrong
this,
guy.
you are a young lad and you're doing this, make sure that you're only talking to her after you've got the gnarliest pump.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have disturbed them during the session either. Probably not going to like that, to be honest with you.
You could say it. No, I won't say it.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know the answer.
If money was no object, what 3 cars do you guys have in your garage right now?
Oh, I don't do cars.
I do cars. Supra, 2 JZ Supra,
Okay.
GT3 RS, and daily would just be a Range Rover.
Okay.
So I'd weekend the GT3. I have all this fucking planned. I'd weekend the GT3. I'd store the Supra, and I'd daily the Range Rover. And if anybody disagrees with me, fuck you.
I want to hear Christians. Christians would be nice and sensible. I could run around.
well, I
Get your
actually
dates
am
beat.
as much of a person for cars, so
Nice and
sounds
sensible.
alright. Yeah, but they sound like fancy cars, so yeah, whatever that is, I'm sure.
I'll take them as well.
I probably won't do them justice with the speed I'll be driving them in, but they'll never get scratched.
Brian?
I don't do cars either. They sound good. I'll
Do
take
you
them.
not have any? There's not a single like.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm like
Ferrari
Christian.
you'd go for.
Yeah, I'll go give me
Yeah.
a Ferrari or something. Yeah, they're cool. No, I wouldn't be able to get into the
You're
fucking thing.
definitely
No
a car
way.
head.
For me?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I probably have a McLaren 765 LT. Oh, this is tough. Ferrari, is it the F12? Super fast? Yeah. And
Drove one of them.
did you?
Yeah, around the corner. I used to coach a man that owns European Prestige, John, and he gave me a shot. I was able to drive into Nice and that in a super fast.
That's nice,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah, it's very cool car.
And then the third one would probably be. What would it be? Probably. Oh, this is tough.
Man's on
Oh,
car.
the Ford GT, the newer one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the newer bolt kind of one. Yeah.
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 Nice.
Yeah. All right. And then what's next? Other alternatives to get extra calories in without sitting eating loads of rice and protein.
Fats, peanut butter,
I'm
almond
just
butter.
looking exactly. Yeah. Increase your fat.
Juices, etc. Yeah.
Dried fruit in with your
Dates.
rice.
Yeah, dried fruit
Easy,
salad.
yeah, dates.
Yeah.
Raisins, easy.
If starting a bulk, I fucking hate this word. But body fat is a little high. Do I keep going because it is an off season,
If you're
or do I do a cut?
If you're starting a bulk
Too
and
fat.
you're
I
hate
already
those
fat,
words.
you're not bulking. You need to recomp.
Yeah.
It's
You're
a
recomp. Yeah.
It's I would not be going into an improvement phase, but if my insulin sensitivity is not in a good place, because you're just going to get fat and not get a lot of muscle. So get yourself lean, get insulin sensitivity into a good place, and then start. Just suck it up and start dieting.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can always recomposition. You know.
And that's it. Thank you, guys. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, boys.
thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll be back a little sooner this time for episode 3. Thank you very much. The Iron Perspective podcast. See you guys next time.